Welcome to the beautiful sights and sounds of Costa de Caparica. We are here for the Costa Caparica Surf Fest 2025. My name's Ben Mundy. I'm joined in the booth by Chico Alves and the birthday boy, Zay Ferreira. And we've had a bit of a wait today. We've had to see out a bit of the storm, but the gathering clouds have started to edge away. There's some wind, but there's some waves. Chico Alves, this is your hometown. You grew up here. You know this part. What have we got today? Talk us through the conditions. What's happening? Why did we wait so long?
I think we were waiting for the right tide, right? So, but it looks fun. I was checking the free surf and I saw some really good waves from everyone. So, yeah, stoked to be here.
Zay Ferreira, happy birthday, mate. How do you feel? I won't go into your age, but just suffice to say it's a celebration for you. And what better way to celebrate than come down here and watch some Europe's best surfers? Are you excited?
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better present, I would say. And yeah, we have some stacked action and some important things going down this afternoon.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got the men's round of 16 starting off, first off, 4 heats. And we're going to go on to the round of the quarterfinals for the women. And we've got some big Challenger Series rankings at play. This right hand, you can see that rip bowl. Although there's more swell and there's more wind, this little rip bowl has been able to sort of handle most of the conditions it's thrown at it. Tides are good. You can even see the line up there. So Wright's peeling off that groin. A beautiful drone shot over the lovely town of Costa de Caparica. So we've got waves and we've got some, well, you know what? Why are you listening to me? Let's go down and find out from the contest director, Claudia Pinto's down there of Hugo. What's going on? What's the call, please, Claudia?
Hello, everyone. We're here at the beach. The rain gave us a break, and I'm here with Hugo Pinheiro for the call.
Hello, good morning to all. So finally, we're gonna give a call. We had like a crazy morning with storm, raining. Right now, conditions are getting better. And we're gonna start with men, the quarterfinals, 25 minutes each, and then straight we go to the quarterfinals, man by man. That's it.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
That's right, we are go. So you're going to do the men's first and then the women's straight after and then finish it off tomorrow. We've got the last of the waiting day tomorrow. There's, look, we're going to have wind. That's not going anywhere. We've got a fair bit of localised sort of storm action, but the swell picks up throughout the course of this afternoon and tomorrow. So we'll finish off tomorrow, find out who the European champion is for the 2025 series. And probably the big story in this heat, Chico, we've got Renan Granville, Samuel Redon, Ruben Vittoria and Federico Moraes, but the only person that can really qualify for the Challenger Series is Renan, the Frenchman. So pretty a lot of stress on his shoulders.
Yeah, a lot of stress, but by the confidence he had on the last interview, everyone is talking about that funny and really precise words by him on the interview, saying, remember my name, remember my face, I'm going to be on the CT. So if someone talks like that, he's up for the challenge, and I can't wait to see what he can do on this one.
Yeah, well, we saw him do a pretty vigorous warm-up as well. He was super pumped.
Yeah,
he's always super pumped, is Renan. So he's up against Samuel Redon. I know you've been really impressed with the young Frenchman, Zay Ferreira, the goofy footer. Come here. He's been really some massive turns, some big, powerful surfing from the goofy footer.
Yeah, for sure. This guy has a lot of willpower. We saw that in his surfing, in his interviews. Sometimes that mental thing, counts even more than good surfing. We actually seen that a lot with like all the Brazilians qualifying, some of them that, really taught the world a lesson, let's say.
Yeah, this is Ruben Vittoria live action. The bass surfer goes up. Nice turn off the top. So Ruben, a former winner down here on the Costa. So he's super dangerous. Can't really do too much, I think, in terms of the Challenger Series rankings, but he is ready to roll. Really tight arcs, really technical surfer. So Ruben looking strong from the get-go. Chico, looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, first carve looking good. Nice on rail, and we saw Fred there having Renan having a look on that one carve.
Sprayed his opponent, which is always fun.
And a bit of a fin release there at the end, so a nice start for him, for sure.
Live action, Federico Moraes, the Portuguese surfer, one of the best surfers this country's ever produced. Just coming back from a ankle injury. There's a nice little trademark slash, green face, and there's a big hack. So we're talking about that ankle. Well, he's definitely testing it. There's his dad, double glassing, which is always good. And yeah, he's Freddie. He's been out for a while. Came back really quick from that ankle injury, but by the looks of that wave, Chico, he looks like he means business.
Yeah, I was having a chat with him as we see the replay. Nice roundhouse cut back here, right on the power source. I like this snap, but this one is the money term. Back arm on the face of the wave, and a really powerful snap to finish it off. So I think this was a really well surfed wave by Fred. I like the last turn, really engaging the whole rail, the whole board, pointing the nose towards the white water, and yeah, massive turn here.
Yeah, what a finish, because it wasn't that big a section. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunities to manufacture that massive turn. Fin showing. It was really, really impressive from Kikash. He's had, as we said, had a pretty tough year by his incredible standards last year. He hold that thought, as we see on the backhand. That's Renan Granville. That's the man that was in 11th place coming into this event, trying to get up into that all-important top 10. Yeah, Freddie didn't really win a heat last year on the Challenger Series. Couldn't buy a heat, then came back, had a pretty severe, broke his ankle. Also lost his sponsor Billabong, who's been with him since he was a kid, 20 years. So all that happening in the space of 6 months, and so it's just great to see him here, back on form. He's got a spot on the Challenger Series already booked. His ankle looks better, and yeah, it could be the last sort of phase, hopefully, of Freddie's career. A late attack on it.
Yeah, for sure. I believe he did a really good recovery, as he said, really quick one. So he's doing everything he can to be at 100%. He loves to compete, so when there's this desire of competing and being better every day, you still got it. So.
And there's the Bass fan club on the tins and supporting their man Ruben Vittoria. That's great to see. They're a really passionate, fun-loving bunch. The Bass surfers, loads of them down here, all supporting each other, and they're right up on the edge of the pier, giving their support. So that's their man on the screen. That's the man they're chanting for. Ruben Vittoria, one of the not sort of getting up to the elder statesman role now. He's a real leader in that group, Ruben. Mentors a lot of the younger surfers. Really positive guy. Always, always at 100%. And yeah, we'll see how he goes. What else were you talking to Federico about? They also having that little chat. What other stuff came up? Chico, anything? Any other gossip? Any bits of insight you can tell me?
Yeah, he was just chatting about how good he's feeling right now. He has a bit of pain still, but that is progressing well, and he's excited to go to the Australian leg with a bit more rhythm under his foot, and that's why he's competing. And yeah, he's trying his best to get his rhythm back and his confidence, especially he had a really severe injury, so it takes a while to get that full confidence back, as we see live.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, Renan Granville, 2 turns and then a third. Took a while to find his feet. That first couple of turns weren't quite as zappy as normal, but does get a score. A nice looking wave. We saw that onshore breeze, pretty much due west, basically like straight off the coast, straight onto the waves. But it's still sort of clean on the face, Chico, and this was a nice looking wave.
Yeah, first snap, tight in the pocket. This one a bit flat, a bit sticky, but the last one was okay. So. Yeah, a start for Renan. The best turn, I think it was this one. Then here, as he said, just trying to find his foot, and the finish was a bit lacking a bit of speed. So a 4-point ride for this one. So 6.33 for Fred. Nice start, solid start there. It's always good to start with a good one, as we see Redon.
Yeah, Redon, he's been really impressive throughout the whole event. Came down here, paid his own weight, and he's been super powerful on these right-handers, and there's some more aggressive manoeuvres there. Meanwhile, the back, Bass over Vittoria, coming down the line, second turn. It's a nice bit of spray. Still manages to get up and get the third hanger, but just comes unstuck. So Ruben, he doesn't make many mistakes. That counts as one, but he's really on point. It's interesting that way of Renan Granville's, because I think that's probably a better wave in terms of scoring potential than Freddie's, but he's, didn't quite get the points. But Ruben, what went right and what went wrong here, Chico?
Yeah, first turn was great, tight in the pocket, and this one, wow, massive carve, and it wasn't able to finish it off. But the damage was done before, so because based on that turn was really, really, really good. So I think it was probably up there with the layback of Kikas in terms of power and speed and the place where he did the turn. So I think he's going to put a good number on the board. And this one, just a bit of a warm-up wave for Samuel. 2 turns at the end there, fun ones, but not super, super critical. So I don't think we will see that wave going really high, but Ruben's one was a good one.
Here he goes again. So Samuel, nice turn, a vertical right in the pocket, and then a bit late to the second one and goes down, so that won't be a counter either. Without priority, so just swung and had a crack and goes down. So already a couple of mistakes from these surfers, just trying to, suss out the conditions. There's a bit more juice, a bit more power than probably yesterday, so they're working out what they can and can't do. Red on, just his first turn was good, Chico, but then just couldn't back it up.
Yeah, first turn was really tight, as he said. Then he tried to cut short his bottom turn to fit one more in there, and the wave just was too quick.
Okay, Granville waiting to warm up here. There's a nice turn here. A little squirt on his backside and goes down. So typically this exchange, 10 minutes gone. Freddie Moraes is playing the patient game. All the other surfers are just pretty much non-stop, getting any wave they can see. Freddie's got that pretty decent score and is just waiting out the back. Nice turn from Granville there on that second one, but just, falls off the end there. So you see Fred out the back there, holding his nerve, just waiting for these sets. The tide coming in, which should help this bank. It's been really consistent throughout the whole course of the whole week, from 2 foot up to 3 or 4 foot, most tides, and it provides so much opportunity, as we see that sort of defined line, which is what you want to see. And we've been lucky enough to have waves the whole time. As we get down to the money end of the season, Challenger Series rankings up for grabs. The first one, as you said, in Newcastle, a couple of weeks away. As we see the Basque fan club, pretty committed to their man. Love to see that. Need more of that in surfing, the old fan clubs. Down in Bells Beach, you used to get pretty good sort of support. I remember Occy had his own fan club. Do you remember that? You used to see the guys used to take their tops off and have Occy written, one with an O, one with a C, and they'd all join in line and spell out Occy. Yeah, good times.
It's always good to see a bit of a fan base to our surfers. It means the sport is growing, and that people have basically reference in the sport as we see live action. Yeah,
here's Fred. Just had to scratch to get into that, and just waiting for it to stand up on the inside. As you said, waited a long time for this wave. It does one turn, so probably, despite the weight, wasn't a particularly good wave selection, which is unlike Kick-Ass. He managed to get a back up and did finish it off, but didn't have that opening section out the back he would have wanted. See Renan just requesting his scores. He's always animated. He's always got something to say. As we see this wave, it didn't happen out the back for Freddie, but he finished off.
Yeah, and like Freddie, to take off on a wave that isn't a score, but he told me that from inside, when you see the wave coming, sometimes it's really hard to read if it's going to be a good one or not, and sometimes it looks like it's going to be a good one and then pans out to be a wave like this. And yeah, sometimes it's just take off on a mushy start and the wave builds up at the end. So a bit of a mistake there of priority, in my opinion. But he's got 14 minutes to go, so he's gonna need to wait to be in first in line again.
Yeah, He's weighted. He has got the best score, individual wave score, which is in his factor for him. That's good for him. We see here, this is the wave that got him that 6.33. But whoa, Freddie gets back in the lineup. We're going to go a short commercial break and come back with more live action from the Caparica Surf Fest right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to live action here from Costa de Caparica. There's the fans out on the piers that make these beach breaks what they are, dividing the banks, causing rips, formulating great sandbanks, great waves, good times. Right now, though, it's a bit of a battle for this all-important first place and second to get through. Here goes Federico Moraes up on riding and just kicks out. So Freddie lost priority with that last wave. He did, though, get just a 2.83. So that keeps him in second place. He's going to have to build on that. He's coming, hunting the inside. Probably not such a bad approach. There was a real flurry at the start of the heat in terms of waves ridden. Just sort of settled down a little bit now. And we'll see if he can make a most of that. Granville, as we said, was in 11th spot, Chico. And he got this wave. What did he do? Talk us through it.
Yeah, first carve there to start this wave off. Waits for the wave to give him a double up, and nice snap there. A bit better on this one, 4.7. Was a bit more tight in the pocket. He had a bit of open face to work with, and that last turn was his best one so far. That's why he got a 4.7. So yeah, Renan there in third, needing a 4.47, and he goes left now.
Yeah, one big turn. Going to his forehand this time. Trying to improve on a 4. And he needed a 4.47, so just staying busy. 10 minutes on the clock. Here goes Fred. He's scratching to this one again. He's liking it. He's up and riding. First turn is a nice little click. Second turn's a trademark kick-ass swoop. And he kicks out again. So unfortunately, Fred that wave just not having a third end section. Got some nice turns. Looks like he's in rhythm. Technique looks good. Ankle looks fine. But just didn't have a last section here.
Yeah, first snap was great, throwing a lot of water, but this carve, extended carve, looking better now on this seat than on the previous ones. Don't you reckon, Ben?
Freddie, yeah.
Yeah, it looks a bit more loose.
Yeah, definitely feel the rhythm coming back. Meanwhile, Ruben Vittoria and only got one section to hit, so these surfers really tightly bunched together. No one be able to get out of that 4 or 5 point range except for Freddie. So it's really tight. 9 minutes on the clock, and we've got still, just waiting for that burst of excellence, just a wave that stands up a bit, provides a bit more opportunity. As we see the next heat coming up too, we've got Thomas Debier, Hans, Audrey Zola, Charlie Cuivant and Thomas Ledee. So another all important Charlie sitting in the top 10. He's at 7, or he was coming into this event on the challenges on the European qualifying series rankings. Hans was in 13th or 14th, so he's also right there trying to pounce. So yeah, I think as we find out with each and every heat, there's going to be a couple of surfers still right in the mix, with a lot riding on these next couple of heats over the next 2 hours. And then of course the same applies to the women in the quarterfinal. There's Thomas Leddy. Oh no, sorry. He's got the wrong singlet on there. What's going on there? We better check that. Our screen says Thomas Debier is in red, but we'll see about that. Either way, he's out there getting ready. And we see Thomas Debier there, so he's just bouncing, getting ready.
Was that a mistake? A singlet mistake?
Well, we need to...
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they both are Thomas. Imagine they go to the check-in and they go like, Thomas.
Oh, wow. Geez, intrigue. Yeah, it's worth finding out.
Because they're going to... Every time Thomas takes off, is the other one getting scored?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be messy.
Well, I'm sure we can sort that problem out either before the heat starts or make sure that the judges know. They just score the colours, so we can change the names over. So yeah, we'll see. Interesting though.
You want to tell Rob?
Do I want to do it? I do have to do everything. I have to like be the head of the commentary team, general vibes master, go and sort out the singlets. Do you want me to cook lunch as well? What else can I do for you, Chico? Lunch? Would you like some lunch?
Dad,
okay. What do you want? Massage?
Dad.
I got Zay a birthday cake last night. I did that for him. I'm going to have to do everything around here, don't I? But I don't mind because I love the sport. And
Can
I
you
love
tell
helping
Rob?
out. I'll tell Rob, yeah. I'll go and tell Rob. I'll tell him right now.
You want to send him audio so everyone can listen on the broadcast?
Yeah.
Do it.
Rob will be listening to the broadcast. He doesn't miss a heat. He would have heard it. So, yeah, we'll find out about that quite soon. 6 minutes on the clock. Time is just suddenly whittling away here. The last wave for Freddie was a 3.7, so it got him up into first. Now Granville is in third place. We're sort of interested in him only because he is right on that cusp of making the Challenger Series. And Samuel Redon, who has been really, really impressive throughout he's surfing around 96, so he's surfed 3 or 4 times, has been really, really impressive. Just hasn't got any waves in this heat to show his powerful backside attack. So waiting on him. He's got priority. Just see if he can come out with this. Here we go. This is Rhiannon Granville, needing a 5 at the moment to move up into second. First turn's a little slow. Now he waits for it to stand up. There's a nice click off the top. And that's a bit more like it. More rhythm, more spray. And is it a 5.07? That's the question, though.
Looked really good.
It did look good. Definitely more flow,
His
more
best
power.
wave so far,
It's going to be his best. I think it's going to be it. Might just inch him up into that all-important second spot, or even into first potentially. So we'll see that. Yeah, the second turn especially. I'll get you to break it down for me here, Chico.
Even the first snap was good. This one, a lot more loose. This one, bang, nice, tight turn in the pocket, and this one releasing the fin. So I really enjoyed the combination of the maneuvers on this one. So I think it was his best wave so far, and I think it's better than a 4.7 for sure. So if it's a 5.07, yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's see all the fans coming down, checking out the surf action. Easter Friday here, obviously. Massive holiday, well, not just in Portugal, but all around the world. And everyone loves coming down the promenade, having a little squeeze at some of the Europeans' best surfers. Bit of wind around, but there's plenty of sun coming up now. So, yeah, it's going to be super fun. I had a walk around yesterday afternoon. It was super festival vibes. It's like, you know, it was so much fun. Everyone really enjoyed the surfing here. We're going to have a look at the recap here, Chico, but it's about Chico, yeah, kick-ass, really strong start.
Yeah, kicker started off really well. Big wrap, snap to a big layback. So a lot of variety on this one, and surfing really good. So nice one there by Kikas. And this is Ruben Victoria on his first one. Really nice surfing. Tight hit in the pocket, 5 for that one. And this is a 3.7 of Kikas. But he's holding to the lead with his 2 waves, so doing a good job here to get that backup. Looks really hard to get that backup. Last of Renan, 4.4. So not the 5 we thought of.
There you go. So we got that a bit wrong, didn't we? 4.4. So the judge is saying not as good as he's won the predecessing wave. Hasn't got the score. Now he's got 3.5 minutes to get up into the top 11. He was ranked 11 before the event, so this could be potentially leave him just a little bit short. We need to get the breakdown. Speaking of Rob Gunning, he's the one actually physically doing the maths right now, all the different permutations of who gets what, who gets why, who goes where, because it could potentially come down to 100 points here or 50 points in, even a difference between third and fourth in the round of 32. That close, whether you're booking your flights to Australia or not. That's how that's the
how close
we're talking about.
That's how close you can get from it. So as we see Renan there having a look on that
Tell
one.
you what, I saw some footage in Newcastle yesterday. I'll show you exactly what was going on as we see the Portuguese brains trust and the French all looking on very, very nervously, just trying to go. And here he goes, Renan. So he doesn't have priority. He's got 2.5 minutes on the clock, needing a 5. First turn is pretty strong, just bides his time. And another one, so 2-turn combo. He just looks a little lacking his normal sort of speed. Sort of, although the turns are powerful, it's sort of just a little bit lacking. Maybe it's the waves. I don't know. What do you reckon, Chico?
I think the waves are a bit smaller, and yeah, maybe he's taking a bit of it has been a bit more difficult for him to generate a bit more speed, but yeah, he needs a better wave for sure to get that 5.07.
Yeah, he's got 2 minutes. That wave's not going to be a 5.07. He's actually getting away from his opponents because he knows that with 2 minutes on the clock, he isn't going to get through that priority maze up the top bit. Freddie's looking pretty good. He's going to go this one. We had a look at it. Not sure if that counts as a paddle or not. Victoria in second, Granville needing a 5. Also Redon, who's been really quiet. He's had a priority for a long, long time now, needing a 5.9, which he's super capable of. Just going to see if we've got 90 seconds to go, whether any wave's going to come up in time. So Freddie did lose his priority for that paddle. Another rare mistake from the experienced CT surfer, former CT surfer Freddie. Might not be a big deal with a minute to go. As we see that little rip bowl just trying to generate something. It'd be good to get some little bit of action. Here he goes, the Samuel Redon, the Frenchman. First turn is a little bit iffy. His second turn isn't much better, and he just never got the grips with that wave. So that's not going to be the score he needs. So that could be the end of his race as well. With just on 40 seconds to go, he's had a great event. It looks like it might just be running out of time, and it all went wrong in his first turn.
Yeah, he tried to get up there really quickly and to generate more speed, but he ended up like doing a bit of too much power on the back foot, as we see.
Okay, 20 seconds to go. This is going to go for a big air, and if he hung on to that, he would have had a chance at a 5, but he didn't. Vittoria would have been watching that air, just holding his breath. He went for it. He had to, and he's managed just to. Well, he didn't manage to do anything. He's come a cropper. So, in that regard, he's going to have a go. Here we go for Vittoria. They're currently second. One big turn finished off. The hooter goes. So it looks like in what was a pretty scrappy heat, Freddie Moraes has got through. The local hope. Good news for all the Portuguese surf fans down there. And Renan and Ruben Vittoria also through. So Renan Granville, who was pretty loud and proud about getting on the CT, now he's going to have a pretty nervous wait just to see how the shakedown, how the other surfers go. And it looks like he might still be on the cusp. The head surfers in 10th and 9th also lost. Freddie and Ruben surfed many a heat together. I just having a quick debrief. Sort of talking through the difficulties of the wave. Sounds like they both had to grind that one out and did well. So Freddie is through. We get to hear his take on it pretty shortly. He's on to finals day. He'll be one of the favourites. Even though coming back from injury, if he's in the quarters, Chico, he's dangerous.
Yes, he is. Great to see him get his rhythm back, that's for sure.
Yeah. Good to see him in Jersey. It's good to see him ripping. We're going to go a short commercial break. Come back with more live action right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to live action here at the Costa de Caparica. Well, we've got some waves, we've got some wind, we've got the Europe's best surfers, and we've got a special guest appearance in the booth, João de Macedo. João, thanks for coming in, mate. Good to have you here. Always good to have your insight and your words, mate. How are you feeling? What's been going on? Why are you in Costa? Just to watch some surfing?
Watch some surfing. It's a gathering of the tribe. It was really fun. I saw Zé there. My son has the same name as our dear friend here, Zé Ferreira. And, it's just a gathering of the tribe. And it's just, it's an opportunity. So I highly recommend it. Anyone who's, minimally close. Portugal is even a small country, so all the boys up in Porto could even make it for finals day. Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Get down here, mate. And it's just sort of Easter's now. We're starting, supposedly seeing some warm weather. End of the big wave season, pretty much wrapping up on this side of the world. Anyway, mate, how was your season? How did it shake down for you?
It was a different season for me, and actually coming in the booth now is kind of like a little bit of just something that I feel good doing, and so I was invited to commentate at the Nazaré Challenge, and so it's different. You're not in the water, which is obviously is where the biggest excitement runs, but it is something you're still really connected to the event and to Nazaré in general, and I'm more focused now on an environmental project up there in Nazaré, and so that's like really where everything is kind of like converging for us.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that throughout the course of this. I would say actually riding a 60-foot wave at Nazaré is actually not as hard as actually coming in the booth and being good at your job in the commentary booth. That's my personal take on it, but that's just my view. We've got and we are going to talk about this.
Harder than it looks, right?
Yeah, it's up. We make it look easy. I mean, let's a little time, but we have got a stacked heat here. We've got Charlie Quivant, the Frenchman, up in the top 10 in the rankings. Hans Odrizola, so the Basque surfer, young kid with a really bright future. Thomas Ledet and Thomas Debier, and we know that these surfers really trying to hang on to the top 10 to get up into the Challenger Series rankings. That's what it's all about. And we might just have a bit of we have, before they had the wrong singlets on, but we do have the right singlets. This is Thomas Debier, the Frenchman, from Guadeloupe, it's the big turns. Yeah, mate, up in Nazaré, it was a bit of it didn't get sort of macking waves all the time, but yeah, talk us through hold this sort of this wave here, live action from Charlie Quivant, really smooth, technical, great surfing from Charlie. But yeah, mate,
makes it look good, doesn't it?
We're going to have trouble to try and get
these guys. Yeah, these kind of conditions are like just non-stop. The guys are catching so many waves.
Didn't we say that first? I think it was 700 waves were ridden that they gave us a little stat breakdown. So
I love those numbers, isn't it? Like And that's the beauty of like a day like today. I think, you know, that's just the beauty of our sport, you know, like just and what we do and the art form in general, like kind of a stormy day. And just because everyone's here, you know, all the best guys are all here and you're able to make something out of nothing, you know, and I think that mindset of just adapting to what's out there is just beautiful. And it's always a pleasure to watch and, you know, see the guys, you know, really make the most out of it. And then, you know, you can actually have some really fun moments out there.
Yeah, well, speaking of someone who had some fun moments was Frederico Moraes. He was actually down on the beach with Claudio Pinto, talked us through his heat win.
That's right, starting fresh here at the beach with the local hero Frederico Moraes going into the finals day. Kikas, how does that feel?
It feels good to finally make some heat, especially coming from an injury. Yeah, in front of the home crowd, some fun waves, kind of tricky conditions, but yeah, made it to the next round.
Is that Easter weekend going to inspire you to take the win here?
Hopefully, I would love to, but yeah, step by step. I want to take it slow. I'm feeling good. My surfing's feeling good. So yeah, we'll see. Step by step.
Congrats. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Freddie. Yeah, he's just here for the experience. He's such a cool competitor, and he'll be dangerous. Yeah, well, let's talk about some of your work up in Nazaré, not just your big wave surfing and your commentary, which is probably the most important stuff, but your environmental work, mate. What's been going on up there? Where you're at with your project?
All in with the environmental work, and it was really cool. Actually, there was an interview on the boat 2 seasons ago. Yeah, we might. Oh, that was that really smooth kind of two move.
Yeah, Charlie's got a 4.83 for that one, so
smooth.
Nice start.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, something that I started, and was part of the World Surfing Reserves movement in California, and that kind of really started, let's say, my environmentalist or activist career, and just the interest and just how natural it is for surfers to be part of any conversation that involves the ocean or just nature, and so that I think gives us a little bit of a I won't say authority, but at least a license to speak, because we are connected.
He's almost connected his face with his boards. That one.
Yeah.
I think he's right. I think
and
he
it's
missed
hard
it.
to stay connected all the time, as we can see. So, but that's one of the lessons, right? You got to learn with your mistakes, learn with your falls, and so in Nazaré we're really. We're planting seaweed, so I'm way out of depth. I mean, I'm definitely not in my comfort zone. Not to say that surfing big waves ever is comfortable, but you kind of, you build things. You get more prepared. You get more used to things. What happened here? O que aconteceu?
I think just wax thing there. He
the
you see, yeah,
combo.
Exactly. He was going off to a good wave. He's probably his first scoring wave. I think he just slipped, like a good old slipping.
That old chestnut.
Yeah,
and with the project planting the seaweed, I suppose that is determinant a bit on the weather. So is it more of over summer? Do you ramp up that sort of planting process?
That's a great question, but no, it's actually like this species of kelp is actually a winter species,
gotcha.
and so it really likes the cold water. And so when the water warms up a little bit, even for us, being in Portugal, south of Europe, it still does warm up a little bit in the summer. And so this species, it's a native species. And this project started through the WSL Pure program, the One Ocean. And so the World Surfing League around the world supports, nonprofits and organizations that are doing work. And it started as a program called... Wow, his style is so smooth, huh?
Yeah. He really is he's looking on form, Charlie. When he's on, form, this guy's one of the best surfers to watch in terms of style. You see Lede also ramping up here, might go to the air, does, grabs roll, and
come on,
almost sticks it, but doesn't. So, yeah, I think Charlie's going to have a big number, as we also see Thomas Debier, another Caribbean surfer on fire all day, all week. So, yeah, incredible
lots of talent
surfing.
coming from the islands there, yeah.
Guadeloupe, yeah, exactly. Right, so it's over winter. You're planting most of it. Yeah, that's interesting.
And so this species, and so Regeneration Surf was one of the programs that the WSL One Ocean program started supporting, and we kind of picked up where they left in terms of trying to plant seaweed and reforest. And so, but what we ended up learning is that actually farming is our technique. So there's an artificial reef just south of the harbor in Nazaré, and that's where we're gonna, put this infrastructure. And, we're really vamping up to September, October to get that farm in the water. So, we're fundraising, taking people there, and Nazaré just has that, we are blessed that it is such a fascinating location. And so people, are stoked. Wow, this air was beautiful, huh? Yeah, we got a little lift.
It's looking almost Zay. He sort of did all the hard work, didn't he? Got the grab. But this way, talk us through Zay. This was incredible.
That was pretty smooth. Nice first slash there, and then this wave kind of ramps up and beautiful, Rayleigh snap, finishes off strong. So good, good wave for him. I think that's 6.33. Charlie from Royan, and we've got some waves ridden, 8.17 for the last of Thomas, so that's definitely the best wave of the day so far. He's been really in form, as you can see what the judges thought of that. And so this is going to be a stacked heat, and I think there's some decisions on the table too, right? Because Hans can still improve his ranking situation.
Yeah, he's came into the event 13th, I think, on the rankings. So you need to get up in that top 10, and there's been a few guys in that top 10 who have dropped out. But he needs to make this heat and probably another couple just to get up there and to get on that Challenger Series.
So is it a top 10 or top 8? I was hearing on the beach some of the guys, because of Fonsantunj, is one of the hometown favorites, and he was unlucky in his first heat, right? And but I mean, it seems like he's still totally in contention to qualify for the Challengers. But.
Yeah, well, we've been told top 10, but we'll see. Yeah, I think Afonso's got enough points on the board. Charlie goes for a big spin, and then the next heat, just saw there Jorgen Kuzne and Keone Lasser. They're ranked 1 and 2 on the ranking. So whoever sort of, if Jorgen was to win that heat and Keone was knocked out, he would be the European champion. So, yeah, it's plenty on the line, plenty to play for. Yeah, you're saying about Nazaré, it is, and it's such a focus for the surfing for global, especially for mainstream audiences and people that might not always be involved in surfing. It just generates so much interest. So I suppose if you can use that to educate people about your projects, that's like a win-win, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's exactly that, because it's a way that surfing can really reach into the broader oceanic themes, and it's become such a global issue. It's the UN Decade of the Oceans, and so in a certain way, I really think that the role of professional surfing, but surfing at large, really has with ocean conservation is a really a big deal. And I think that that's kind of one of my big inspirations, is that there we can really, continue to, honor surfing's role, but at the same time, reach out and broaden into these broader ocean themes. And so seaweed really is, I mean, if you think of it, it's obviously a carbon sink. There is, the issue about it being useful also for, food, and it's an alternative protein source, since these are the things that then you start picking up on and learning, and since the Neolithic times, and so the caveman, were already, if there wasn't fish or if it was stormy, you could go pick some seaweed on the coast. And so these are actually things that it's so cool that are coming back, and now there's an alternative to bioplastics, so algae has a lot of potential in that area too. Our use, what we wanted to transform it as, it is a biodiversity sink. So here goes.
This is Hans Odrizola just trying to get that way through.
Assistant.
Yeah, so the actual forest is just acting as pretty much as you're not going to use it at this stage for those issues, but just more as the
as a habitat. Yeah. So our main goal and what we're basically being responsible for is to create a zone of habitat. And so if we're able to plant seaweed like a forest, a bit like a vineyard maybe, you could think, because then you have to harvest a little bit of it, and then in that use, our use is a biofertilizer. So it's there's a lot of, in agriculture and there's a lot of chemical fertilizers, and so there's actually, it's been again these ancient ways of farming. We're always using seaweed, so it's a very natural biofertilizant. But there's a transformational aspect to it, and that is one side. As we as the forest is established, as we get that to actually have a use. So an entrepreneurial use for the seaweed is actually something that's important for the long-term growth of the project. So, I mean, we took a fair amount of time to actually figure out that planting seaweed is our way into this broader conversation, of marine protected areas. So I was giving a little bit of my personal, path with the World Surfing Reserves, but it was always this legal side, which is what marine protected areas represent.
Gotcha.
And so, like, for example, here in Caparica, we're actually really close to a national park, so just a little bit south. But then entering the ocean is something that is still, still has a long way to go. And then, again, wow, this is beautiful.
Nice.
When he gets the right wave.
Lands it.
So
he does land it.
Wow, that's a make, huh?
That's a make, yeah, for sure.
Just coming, as you see, Charlie, a lot of waves. We saw Thomas Lade doing a big two-turn combo as well. We'll just catch up on these scores. There's a lot to come in, some replays as well. All four surfers sort of going ham, but this was a bigger wave. Charlie, just a little karate chop to the face out the back, and then trying to come in. He's trying to improve on a 4.83. And just goes over the top. So nice surfing from Charlie. And then that's a real nice savage cut down and a bit of progression, which we haven't seen a lot of throughout the course of this event, to be honest. It wasn't a huge air, but it was a point of difference. So Hans needing some scores down there. Yeah, so I suppose is that, the plan is, I'd imagine, is to roll out these type of projects across other surfing reserves or in places where it works? Is that the long-term goal?
Yeah, it's that we're, it is, again, a super important question is this scalable, right? So obviously Nazare has, this awareness and it's a really special place, but that's the beauty of farming, and the technology is pretty low tech at the same time. Obviously, it's really rough water, so a lot of our partners are excited that they can prove, their engineering in those waters and really strong currents. So there is, a lot of adversity, but at the same time, the nutrients, the quality of the water is outstanding. And there's more and more, projects. So there's actually some clams. So there's this company called Ocean Fresco that is based inside the harbor. The harbor itself is changing a lot. And as I was saying, I mean, if we can do a marine protected area in such an ancient fishing place like Nazare, then it can be done anywhere. And so fishing in the short run has become a bit of an enemy, and that has been a wrong way of looking at things, because fishers are an ancient, way of humans surviving on the planet. And
so we've got to coexist, don't we? We've got to work together, I suppose.
Absolutely.
If we can do that, that's always going to be the way of the future.
And the strongest way. And so then there's a way that, there's livelihoods, there's obviously, if you can fish sustainably, it is important, even in the way that we're the apex predator, right? And so there is this balance that if sustainable fishing can happen, that then it's better for everything. It's better for the ocean. It's better for all the local communities.
Yeah, exactly. And there's Hans Odriozola, and then now Charlie Quavant as well. And we saw a pretty amazing wave of Thomas Debier, which I think might go into the excellent range as well. So everyone just starting to go ham a little bit. This wave here, Zé Ferreira, I think this is going to be a big number.
Yeah, this guy's been one of the most informed surfers the whole event. Beautiful surfing, variety there, a lot of rail work there. And yeah, he wants to better a 4.17, which I'm pretty sure he did. So, so far, I think he's been the best surfer of the contest.
I think, I reckon he's got the highest heat totals on average for sure, Thomas. He's been absolutely on a tear. And,
unique style too, huh?
Yeah, really sort of a lot of traditional in many ways, but just so crisp and clean that it works so well. There's Jorgen Kuznik going for the European Championship, but right now we're going to have a short commercial break and come back with more live action from the Caparica Surf Fest right after this.
vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
We are back live action. Charlie Crevant in Costa de Caparica. He's been super smooth, and there's another big turn from Charlie, and he likes it. He's a character. He's one of Europe's great surfers, and he's right in the mix now. I think he's pretty much, if he can get through this heat, he's booked his spot to go on the Challenger Series to Australia, which starts off in June. So a big, big heat for Charlie. Big. He's claiming as well, so he only needed a 5.97 prior to that wave of Charlie, so there's a bit of a shakedown of scores. I'm also joined in the booth by Jada Macedo and Zay Ferreira. Mate, let's just talk. We'll just see this one turn, Zay. Pretty technical.
Yeah, and we haven't seen an air. I think at least I haven't. It's probably the first air of the day. Pretty curious what the judges are going to think, but this one will make Hans' life harder, possibly, because he wanted to better a 4.83. You know, two nice turns there for Charlie. And Thomas, you can't really count this guy out of anything. He has it one good wave, so, you know, still an open heat.
Yeah, it's wide open. All four servers are explosive. Can get that, you know, they only need a 6, so lots on. And just on that, well, hold that thought. I'm going to start about this kelp business, as we see Thomas on a bigger wave there. The high tide filling in, maybe a bit of increase in swell, and Thomas is going to try and use his rail work. He's done all event. And there's a nice big turn. He got a 5.93 for his last wave, trying to improve on that. So he's got a lock on the heat. He's pretty much not going to be beaten, I'd imagine. It's up that all-important second spot. Yeah, what is the actual, how do you get in this project of yours? What's the website? How do you find out more? What can we do, or what can surf fans do to educate themselves or get involved?
You know, we have our website, hopezones.org, and just, you know, getting interested. We do some events there, you know, beach cleanups, harbor cleanups. We've kind of just specialized. It's just more of a way to get the community together. And we're doing a film festival in Sintra. So not connected in Sintra. There's a marine protected area project. And so it's more environmental films and just kind of getting the community together around this theme and being able to.
When's that on? When's the film festival?
It's going to be June 26th to the 29th.
Okay.
What's the name of the festival?
It's Sintra Ocean Fest. Sintra Ocean and Surf Fest.
That's super interesting.
So there'll be environmental films. As you know, an ambassador for Patagonia, there's that amazing library of films, and kind of mixing the action with a cause is kind of that line, and you know, just bringing a little bit of awareness, but always I think the main thing that's been said is like the inspiration coming from you know, good practices and not, you know, guilt is one of the things that, you know, I've learned over the years, and I think it really sucks that sometimes, you know, some of the projects are like, oh, you know, like, you know,
pointing fingers instead of solutions.
Instead of solutions, or instead of whatever you're doing. And sometimes, especially, yes, there is this, you know, kind of, you know, a bit of a conversation stopper word, the greenwashing and all that. But the fact that companies are more and more interested in doing things, and the fact that, you know, whatever the effort that they make, if it is in that direction, that is the way to go. And so sometimes to get too evangelical about like, a holier than thou kind of thing, I think is a really dangerous place to be, and I think really bad and detrimental for the movement as a whole. This is a flurry. 1 minute left. Gosh, what's going to happen, Zay?
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, Charlie's trying to get his scores, and I think there's a lot of action. Hans needing a 6.27 now, and Thomas went for that big backside air. If he'd landed that, he would have had the judges thinking long and hard about this thing. 55 seconds on the clock, so you can see the desperation.
Hans' air is still not there.
He's still got a score to come in, yeah. So he needs a 6.27 as it stands, and another way for Thomas to come in as well. That won't affect that second place. Still 39 seconds. Hans. Oh, and there's a big bit of spray from Charlie, and there's another one. So he's just keeps hammering away. And he's got 20 seconds. He can't do much more than that. That black board's looking really, really smooth under his feet. And that might just make Hans's score even a little bit higher. But he's going to go anyway. He's got 17 seconds to see if he can put himself on the Challenger Series. Hasn't got a lot of speed, but he's still going to launch. And you could just tell that he never quite had the board speed to make that a super counter. He's going to complete it, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, too much of a whitewater wave to really punt a 6.27 air on that one, unfortunately.
We'll see. It looks like he's not going to do it. I mean, look, he's not going to help him right now, but he's so young. He's got such a bright future. He'll be back, over the next few years. I can't see any other sort of future other than Hans being right in these top 10 in the European surfing. So that's not going to help him right now. Any defeat stings, no matter how old you are. But yeah, he's got such a bright future. This man has got to be one of the favourites for the event now, just by virtue of the super big numbers he's posting each and single heat.
And so Hans is out of the top 10, so that's...
Yeah. So he'll get extra points, as we see that nice top first swoop. He'll get... This is a counter result for him, but look, I can't categorically say where he's going to end up. So we do need to get the shakedown, but from my limited knowledge
of what the rankings looked like before and how he needed a result.
Yeah, I think he needed a couple more heats to really push himself up. But we shall see. You can tell by the disappointment that they think he hasn't got it. There's his brother, who also surfed Kai. So
and Jim was there because they're part of the team, right? The EDP team.
Exactly. Yeah. So working with Zosiabra. And there's still a score to come in, though. Hans hasn't got it. Charlie also got a score, but he knows he's through. I'm pretty sure he was 7th on the ranking, so he's already going to go. This is a keeper, so he's up there, and he's his good mate there. Charlie and Thomas surf together, so they're really tight, and he's through, and they'll be dangerous in the quarterfinals. Yeah. All right, Jay. Yeah, well, mate, it's really. I mean, you can stay as long as you want, but really glad to have you in here and give your insights and what is this incredible project for the Hope Zones. It's a pretty apt name, as you said. Hope is pretty important in this process, and to have actual real-life solutions that are making a difference is even more important. So thanks for your time and effort, and keep championing these causes.
If Chico lets me, I'll stay one more heat. Is that okay, Chico?
Yeah. He's all yours, mate. You can have him.
You can have
him. Yeah, go for it.
No, it's cool. It's definitely always a pleasure, and the intensity of just watching so many things going down, and like you were saying, how Hans, ultimately it's a career, and what we're doing, here, just being, and this is part of also this entrepreneurial spirit that I think we need to tap into, and surfing has, and the industry, and just bringing everyone together. And there's just so many things that go down, and we're part of it. And so, yeah.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, we're here. It's a culmination of European surfing. It's where all the action is in Europe right now. We're going to have a short commercial break. When we come back, as you said, Chico Alvarez is going to come in and hold your hand, which is lovely. We're going to go to a short commercial break and be back with more live action right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
And we are back live here at E3 of round of 16 here at the Caparica Surf Fest. Now in the water, Jorgen Cuisinet, Martin Nunes, Ido Agag, and Keoni Lassa. So, and joining myself, João Macedo, Johnny. A lovely day to be here in Caparica, fun waves. And today we had a bit of a shaky morning, but looks like there's some fun waves right now.
Bang, yeah. Gosh, it's amazing. We were just chatting about that, how like on a really tricky, stormy, day, that's what I think is amazing of pro surfing, and just the attitude of all the guys. They just go out there, and I've seen you, just go out and suddenly the waves look better, like if you get, guys, talented guys like you out in the water, and then suddenly, and I think that for the young kids growing up, and if they start complaining about the ocean and then lose sight that they're at the beach, even the worst day at the beach is still an amazing day. And, oh, here goes Martin Nunes, one of the home favorites. It's really stylish, huh?
Yeah, he's really smooth, and in his group, he's known by always getting the best ones.
Yeah, wave selection. Huh?
Yeah, I heard
he
he's
just
really
has the wave magnet. He's got a connection with the ocean that way. Yeah, patience. Oh, that's cool. Hometown Sintra. Yeah, Praia Grande boy.
Yeah, Praia Grande boy.
That's cool. He does sign under Praia Grande. That's really cool.
And we've got a beach interview now with Thomas Debier, standing by with Claudia.
Thomas, winner of the last heat, going into the finals day and scoring that 8.17. Guide us through that wave.
Yeah, I mean, my strategy was still the same. Surf a lot, find a rhythm, and yeah, I get this one. I didn't have the prio. Hands was just a little bit up me, and I didn't get the wave. I went, it was my third wave, and yeah, the wave just gave me like 2 turns, and that's what I was looking for, showcase my surfing and finding a rhythm with the ocean, so I'm glad it worked out.
Tomorrow, Easter Sunday, you're sharing it with your dad, who you've been working with. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's Fredo Robin who's been here. Sharing the coaching and his knowledge with us. So it's been cool because I've been working with him since like a week before the event. We had a lot of trainings, and I'm happy. I'm with my best friend as well. So yeah, I'm glad to be in final day tomorrow.
Sharing with close people, Easter Sunday. Congrats. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Claudia. And we've got some big implications on this heat. If Jorgen wins,
right,
he's European champion, but he needs Keoni Lassa to lose.
Ah, so he's also in the run for the title, huh?
Yeah, he's in second.
Okay.
So a lot of implications on this one. So 1 and 2 on the same heat early on this event. Would be nice to see them in the final, actually, trying to win this title.
Gosh, yeah. No, I mean, this is a really, obviously, it's amazing because, the international aspirations of all European athletes, but it is important to not forget that as a region, I remember my generation, older than yours, Chico, I know. So, but the European title was a really big deal. Some of the pioneers of the circuits, Nun Matas here, with his boards, and it was all about the European circuit. There was really a lot of energy, and
wow.
So smooth.
As we saw live there, Keoni Lassa on a really big turn, and judges have been loving those, so we can expect big numbers on this one. But as you said, yeah, I remember, was it like the Sepsa Tour?
EPSA.
EPSA, yeah,
European
exactly. Not
Professional.
Cepsa. Cepsa is the,
like
the
ASP.
petrol, right?
Yeah.
It's
What?
Cepsa is the where you
the
put
gas
petrol.
station,
Yeah, the gas station. But yeah, I
The
remember.
non-environmental ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But back then was.
But we all drive cars, so yeah, no guilt.
Yeah. I wish I could ride a bike for that long, but it's tough as we see.
Come on, Martin.
Nice one. Two-turn combo there. The
This
first
is
one
cool.
looked really good.
Martin, I love it. It can be a dark horse and really make some
Wow.
damage.
Big. Oh, Jorgen is
Jorgen is really
precise.
Yeah.
6.0 on that one, and the short amount of space that Jorgen needs to cover to produce like a big number, it's insane.
It's insane. How little space on a wave and he gets 2 huge turns. It's really special.
As we see live again. Bang. Oh. That's why they are number 1 and 2. Every time they take off, you can feel the difference on just the speed and the projection they get on each maneuver. I don't know. Feels like they've got some magic boards under their feet as well. So
Keone looks like part of the new generation from the Basque Country, isn't it?
it looks like a Travis Loggy with a wider
stance.
Wider stance. Yeah. So good, so quick, and this turn was massive.
Yeah, right on the closeout.
I like
what
when
do you think they're gonna give for that turn?
it's gonna go into the 6s.
High 5, 6. Wow.
Yeah, I believe so, because they have been scoring these turns really high this event. I think the score is coming in, so I think it's gonna come in as a 5, as you said, into the 5s. But yeah, for a 1-turn wave, that's really solid.
Yeah, just that power. Yeah, all that water flying.
497, so just under a 5. But yeah, they have been
they're not rewarding Martin's kind of smooth surfing is not being rewarded, unfortunately.
Yeah, like the last. So no, wait, we are waiting still for the score of the last one of Keone, and this is Jorgen with a big layback there.
Wow,
nice one.
That's vicious.
Wow. He engaged the whole rail.
Sharp eyes, yeah, making lots of surfers happy. That's for sure.
Yes, indeed. As we see Ido Agag, who has been doing the Israeli surfer, a really good comp so far. Really powerful. Always finding the right ways to get some big numbers. But as you said, Martin, on that last one, 383, I thought it could have been a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, here he goes again.
Wow. Nice snap off the top. Waits for the wave to build up, and nice finish.
Yeah.
That finish was critical. Really tight, vertical. And I thought it was a bit late at the start, but then he was able to put the board right up there, so looked a bit better.
Push the fins out the back at the same time, really rotate.
But again, I don't know where that score is going to go just based on the previous waves yet. The previous one, I thought it was better than this one.
First top turn, I mean, he's throwing water.
And this one.
Yeah, that one was critical, yeah. So was it a set wave? Yeah. And here we go on Ido's wave.
Yeah, Ido's was the replay. This is a 2-point, right? No.
Gosh, he made really something out of nothing. That was, gosh, the pop he got out of that was incredible.
So Jorgen got a 7.33 for that layback.
Yep.
So Jorgen, in a matter of 10 minutes, is in the lead. And Keone, though, we are still waiting for that big number of Keone as we see him on the really weird left.
Yeah, might get lost. There's definitely not known for the left off that peak, but
I think it's going to get better, the left, with the higher tide.
It will? Okay.
And this is Jorgen. He's going to go for the air. Oh.
Wow.
A bit late into that air. We could see when he was popping out of the lip that the lip was hitting his front foot.
Yeah.
And when that happens too much, you kind of lose control. So.
But he went for it, right? Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So
he broke his board. Shit.
Did he?
Something happened.
Oh. So 5.7, the one turn from Keone. That one.
That one that you liked, exactly.
So 5.7 for that one.
Amazing.
One judge actually gave 6.5. So
amazing.
they have been rewarding like a big turn.
Yeah. I was definitely not seeing it that way for sure. But that's it. Sometimes the smoothness, or you know, like, you don't really know, but you have a kind of, you prefer a certain style, and that's why it's. I always recommend anyone who goes to go into the judge booth and try to shadow score. It's a challenge. It's not. It's a tricky job. You got to stay really focused and really look at every single detail to really, you know, appreciate the difficulty.
So 3.8 for the last of Martin Nunes as well, not being able
it's
to...
not cracking the 5, you know, not getting out of the 5 point into the 5 points.
But
it's a shame. Yeah.
But as you said, his surfing looks really smooth, but he probably needs a section like this one where he opens up.
That's more like it.
Oh, just a bit late on that one. But yeah, he needs just a more like a steep section to open up, and they will score him higher. He got a 7 on the previous round.
He did, so he can get the big scores going. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But I thought both of those trees could have been at least 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely felt
the
that
waves
it was,
were
a little,
well surfed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's our Portuguese pride, but
no, but like comparing to that 357 Ido got with that small air where he pumped the whole way until the end, he got like a small air. If we compare both of those trees with that wave, it needs to be at least 1.5 higher than that, in my opinion. So, yeah.
The distance between Ido's wave and his, yeah.
Yeah. If we go into the trees, they're not the same. Like Martin's wave, both of the trees, he surfed really well. Yeah. He got like some lines going, so and the waves looked good. So I thought
at least a point difference, 1.5. Yeah. I agree, absolutely.
I think when you keep the scale really low, it tends to happen this where you feel like there's not much space through them, and if you are gonna be higher with Jorgen's layback, maybe you have space there under to go into the 5s, you know,
higher,
when you keep the scale really low, it's harder to then identify what's average and not average, you know, and it can get really hard.
Busted the fin.
Is it?
Damn.
No, he lost the fin, I think.
No,
yeah. With there, he maybe hit the...
He fell on it, yeah. It's good he didn't get injured, I guess. Yeah.
I think it was like sideways, so it just pops out and doesn't do much. Maybe you don't even feel...
Yeah.
Because it's like on the knee or something.
It's good he didn't know. Imagine he would have paddled out without noticing, and then he would have been
I think it happened to someone now in El Salvador during the heat. I think it was someone needing a score. Then he gets up and he didn't have one fin. You see Keone there.
Smooth bang.
Wow.
Oof. He needed that to give it a little. I mean, it's really, Martin needs a 6.84 and Ido needs a 7 points. So, I mean, 11 minutes, Martin hopefully is thinking.
This is a lot better.
Yeah.
Was that a make?
Yeah, that's...
it jumped a bit too quick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's
going to be hard to...
Because, like, he needs to let the white water go down and
then advance.
Yeah, a little bit to show the judges he made it. But
100% is not 99.
Even though... Let's watch it again. I like the turn, though. Really nice one.
Big close up, bang. That's, I think he might have...
Was that a make?
He might have got a little too
we don't see the nose of the board. He jumped before.
He definitely kicked out, right? So jumped off.
Yeah, that's for sure, but...
He didn't fall, but...
That was weird.
But he might have jumped off a bit too early.
I think so. He was like, it's done, I'm out of here.
No, they gave it to him. They gave it.
Oh, what? How much?
6.4.
6.4.
So now he needs much less. Now he only needs a 4.27. So Martin is now
6.4 one turn.
I mean, Chico, the degree of difficulty of that turn towards finding one that has like, you know, 2 top turns or a bit of smoothness in between the turns, I'm of the opinion that it's harder to get that flow on especially on a bumpy day like today
Yeah,
It's
connecting
a
3
beautiful-
turns.
Yeah, connecting
right?
3 turns is more
Yeah, I
difficult.
feel the same. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. I feel like sometimes
It's more
like-
spectacular, more water. I
like
mean, I understand.
the technique you need to have 3 turns in a row without dinging a rail and connecting all the dots.
Yeah.
As a surfer,
More
we know
difficulty.
it's way more difficult than taking off and going straight into a closeout floater.
Yeah. I understand
So,
it's
I
more
mean-
spectacular. There's more water, you know. You kind of like, but I think that's it. It's not just. Maybe it's that thing of the length of the ride, and one big move is more spectacular, so it's rewarding that. But yeah, I you know, it's such a beautiful thing, the flow with the wave and connecting turns that I think as surfers we always kind of
It's just like
love that too.
It's just weird. Like we talked about the airs back then. How can that turn was so good? How can a single maneuver being rewarded so high?
Yeah.
Right? And you ask yourself, okay, we need to lower the airs because airs have been all around. Everyone is going for one air and they get like an 8, right? And then they start like, okay, let's go down with those numbers. But then now you see like one turn being rewarded like an air.
6s, yeah, like an air. Exactly.
You know?
Not an 8, but
I don't
still
remember
a
being
critical.
like this back then. I remember we needed to have like
Connect at least
two, three turns
yeah.
and to go into the 6s.
I mean, again, I think it's just difficult to put it all on the balance, and that's the thing. But to reward a little bit of that, expression that one big turn does. But I definitely, personally, appreciate more, especially on the ocean like today, like just picking that right wave and finding a little bit of flow. I mean, obviously not nursing the turns, like still pushing
surfing,
it,
but
surfing it.
Connecting the dots, right?
Yeah, and really, doing those vertical, snaps and connecting that compared to sometimes these closeout, almost combo floaters. I mean, if you're putting the fins out and, exploding, that wave of Ito, I mean, it was spectacular. Just through a lot of water. It kind of had a little bit of a board slide, and that's just it. I mean, I guess if you're in this heat, what would you do? You'd ideally want to mix things, right? Okay, flow is not being rewarded. Do I have the ability to find out that big closeout section and give what's being rewarded?
Yeah, basically just wait for a one turn closeout
big
section. Yeah.
section and just smash it.
Yeah, go for one turn and get a 6. So now we have Jorgen in the lead and Keani right there, right, João? So
yeah,
they're up there, both of them, but Keani is being chased by this man going for the air, Ido. And
he's got those thunder thighs, huh? He's got that power. He definitely, made that air out of pure grit. Cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was really technical. The front foot went all the way almost to the nose.
Oh, this is a cool perspective.
So nice to see the
bang, good pop.
Yeah, it was nice.
He launched it.
Wasn't really high, but was projected to the
really
bottom of
got
it.
the fins out.
The landing was nice as well, the way he rotated. As we see his father there.
Yeah, the boys are stoked, of course.
So nice to see them support.
So, the last 5 minutes, if you were Martin, if you're in this heat, what would you be thinking? I mean, to try to get out, is it over?
Well, I think if he needs a 4.30, Ido goes into second.
He's in it. He could definitely. He's a.
Yeah, if he gets like a
priority.
Based on what we've seen, I know he can throw some big airs. I would probably try to go left and try big air on the closeout section.
Just for that spectacular.
Because we can see that 6-4 has been one big turn. And if Ido goes for that section, but instead of like a re-entry, he goes for the air and he lands it, it's going to be 7-5 or 8. So Laza now, big pressure time
Ido
for him.
Turned it.
And they were going blow for blow there while paddling. But yeah.
Okay, so
Keani needs a 5.01 now.
Oh, he's like chucking water at the other guy.
You saw him?
These guys they're in it.
And he's got no priority.
And he's
either.
just like on him.
It's on him, just making him
Angry.
around him. Look, just paddling around him. That's great to see.
Wow.
Ido showing his competitive nature.
Definitely. No, you can feel he's got that. But please do not count out Martin. Come on, Martin. You could just be a spoiler.
That's so good when the guy is so focused on something so close to him, and the other guy just does an amazing web. As you see the recap, Jorgen, 5-minute eat, João.
Wow, he got all the work done in the first 5 minutes, absolutely.
And this was Keani's highest wave.
Bang.
That turn was
that
big.
was sick. Yeah.
And this was Jorgen's layback. He's got this turn on lock. Beautiful turn.
Yeah.
Gave me vibes of Joel Parkinson back then.
Yeah, bit of that.
He used to do
stylish.
that a lot, and this was Ido's one turn, and really close jump to not make that turn. And Keani.
Oh, Keani losing it a bit here.
A bit of
It's hard
pressure,
to
maybe.
stay, it's calm with all that pressure on him. Cabiancas, he's riding Cabiancas, beautiful.
I've been trying some as well. I've been loving it. Yeah, I tried for the first time after 15 years of seeing Gabriel using them.
Yes. You probably asked him a couple of times to ride his board. Or did he? Does he let you ride his boards, or he's a little?
No, he's fine. He lets everyone use his boards. It's cool.
Really cool.
Every friend you just go to his rack and you grab a board. But yeah, I never used one. I used one when I was younger, 7 years ago. But now in Peru, when we were there, I was like, can I try one of your boards? Because he gained weight, so he's using almost the same dimensions as me. And yeah, I loved it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do some. And then when I came back, I had some Cabiancas, and they work great. They're really easy to surf. It feels great for beach break conditions. And
so Cabianca shapes here in Portugal too, right? Because I remember he did a shop opening in São Pedro, and he had a presence here. You ordered them from here?
No, I ordered them from in the Basque Country. But I feel like they allow you to how do I say it? Make mistakes, but not make them.
Forgiving.
Yeah,
forgiving.
Thanks. They're really forgiving, and sometimes when you're trying to get back in the rhythm surfing, it's good when you have a forgiving board.
Yeah,
it allows you to okay, sorry, I promise.
Waves,
I promise this was the last one I made. I put the foot on the wrong place, but as we see, 1 minute 40 seconds, and it's pressure time now.
Yeah.
And
Frederico's here. He might just make a guest appearance. Won't jinx it.
We have Frederico Moraes coming up next year on the booth.
Stoked.
So he's going to be joining me. So we're going to have a good chat.
This is to the wire, so Jorgen might be champ.
And you can see Ido there. Now he's got priority over Keani.
The Israeli is really intense.
But Keani, he's got a left. He's good in the air. We know that. He's going to land it.
Bang.
Yes. Is that a 501?
501? No, huh?
No, the wave was too small, I think.
And kind of a little bit of downtime to get to that final junction.
Yeah, we see.
Oh, look at his stance, and then he opens up. That's really technical, though. Gosh.
He's really good. So great stuff there.
Great part of the basket. Go, Martin. That was nice.
Martin blowing the fins there. It was a bit lost, right?
I mean, it's the wave slide. Waiting is not easy, and I think there's a lot of skill involved when you are able to wait. I'll be honest, I was brought up on a beach break, and so waiting was considered like just being dead. But at the same time, on the point breaks, and if you have that skill to wait 10, 15 minutes and then blow up when you catch a wave, I think that's amazing. It's like a really mental strength. And Martin has that. We were just discussing that among his colleagues. Oh, Jorgen. Is that the victory lap? But yeah, to wait, and Martin has that skill. He waits, and then he blows up when he catches it.
Yeah, he's got that patient on his side.
And seems kind of official then. Jorgen might have. Yep, he's champ. That's the coach. All right, stoked. Town and country. Wow.
Oh, that's so
super cool.
Back then, yeah, my father had the brand for a while in Portugal.
Didn't he? Represented, yeah. I rode for Town and Country for some time.
And one of my first boards was a Town and Country as well. So
still just huge in Hawaii, you know.
Yeah.
Dennis Pang, all those guys, yeah.
As we see, a happy camper year.
Yeah.
Jorgen Cuisinet,
yeah.
Champion d'Europe.
Champion d'Europe.
And he's stoked. As you see Kaoni a bit
gosh, he's
disappointed.
got many years ahead of him. He'll be...
He's really young, right?
Yeah. Definitely looks like a young
That
man.
board looks so nice. Right? Looks
Sounds
like really
chunky and
really chunky for Costa. Looks perfect.
Caparica model.
And we see Jorgen having a look there.
Broke a board.
Is that a JS? Looks like a JS. It changes a lot of a lot.
The guys are like, why was this guy hounding me? Oh wow! But that's part it's that intensity. It'll be interesting. You got to ask Federico questions about that. I'm going to leave the booth. I'm going to let it to the man himself here to represent. This is
let's go.
Really exciting. Sheik, always
Joe,
stoked.
thank you so much for being here. And it's always great to have you here and sharing a bit of knowledge and wisdom with you.
Yeah. And maybe we can ask Federico about the Mayo initiative.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because there are a lot of, again, a lot of the sponsors here are really involved with environmental actions, and definitely Hope Zone's, what we're doing up there in the north is great, but there's a lot of stuff going on, so it's
let's do
always
it.
good to hear it.
Thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you so much. As we see Jorgen here, really happy. We've got our Champion d'Europe, Jorgen Cuisinet, stoked for his European Championship win. Is the winner chicken dinner. So we got to go into another eat in just a moment, and we're going to go for a short commercial break before we go into Eat 4 of round of 16. Stay with us for more action here at the Caparica Surf Fest.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to Caparica Surf Fest. Eat 4, round of 16 is in the water. Sunny skies, beautiful waves, and joining myself on the booth for this heat, I have Frederico Moraes. Frederico, welcome to the booth. I know you were excited to come here for a while now.
Super excited.
And we have an amazing hit on our hands. Adura Matrian, Noah Dupoy, João-Marie Mendonça, and Iago Domingues. And I think someone really happy is standing by with Claudia, right?
Is there anybody winning for it? Or?
That's right. Important decisions made here in this heat. Jorgen fighting till the last minute for the first place. How do you feel?
I'm feeling amazing. Well, this heat was a bit tough. I broke my board and I made the decision to go a bit more on that side because I didn't want Keone to get waves. I'm sorry for him. I know he's a great kid and I didn't want to block him, but I knew there's a possible European trophy on the line. So I was like, oh no, I can't leave him with this trophy, and I want him. I want this trophy so bad. I want 3 already, and I have a spot on my. In my room just for it, so yeah.
And the trophy is shining bright here. Back to me.
Thank you, Rob.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling amazing. This was my goal, to be European champ. To be honest, that's why I'm crying a little bit. It's been so many tough years. I've been going through the pressure. And winning this trophy means so much. I just felt like, when you're so down, all you got to do is believe that there's something better coming. And yeah, if a couple months ago, if I knew I was going to get the trophy, I would never believe it. So yeah, thanks everyone for the support. Can I say something in French? Sorry if I have something on the nose. Try not to. Crying is not my specialty. Merci à tous pour le soutien. Celui-là, je le voulais. Je suis désolé que j'ai dû un peu bloquer Keone à la fin, mais je savais que s'il passait par la série, que j'avais le trophée. Donc voilà, ça revient à la maison. Ça va sur mon meuble que j'ai monté là il y a une semaine. Je me suis bien embêté à monter le meuble, donc celui-là, il va être nickel. Ça me fait plaisir d'avoir le dernier trophée que j'ai eu, c'était en 2019. Donc ça remonte et voilà, je suis trop content.
I feel like you just gave us a little insight on your something very personal. Do you want to translate that to English?
In French or in English? Because yeah, I mean, it was tough, and I don't know. I've been watching so many things on YouTube telling, it's not the end. You're gonna do great. But when you're so down, it's hard to go up. But now I just believe my next goal is to be on the championship tour, and I know I can do it. So stay tuned.
Well done, congrats.
Thank you so much.
Woohoo! Nice interview there by Jorgen. Emotional words there. Kikas, you already had a couple of moments like this. I remember maybe in J-Bay was probably your proudest moment so far.
Yeah, my first final on the World Tour against Felipe was definitely a really high moment in my career.
But I remember seeing you cry not a while ago in Brazil. I think when you requalified,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I did cry.
I was seeing it live and I was like, yeah, this is emotional.
Fair enough.
I cried a bit, but I didn't cry a lot. But I was emotional attached to that moment as well. And how are you feeling?
Feeling great, feeling good. It's good to surf an event at home, and we've been kind of unlucky with the weather and with the conditions, but hopefully we'll get some fun waves for the finals day.
And talk to me about the process. You've been working really hard on your foot. I see that even on the late days you're on the gym, just stretching, making the best you can to get better quick. But it's a fact. You came back really quick. Anyone with that type of injury probably would take a bit longer to come back, and you did it in such a short time.
Well, I'm lucky that my father is a physiotherapist, so that helps.
Yeah, that's a bit
but yeah,
cheaper.
it's been yeah, a lot cheaper. And no, but that definitely helps, and it's been a cool journey. It kind of sucked to be off for a few months, not being able to surf, but yeah, I still feel the foot a little bit. It's still sore, but yeah, you just gotta push through.
Yeah, you gotta push through, and someone that is pushing through is Iago Domingues. Iago Domingues started off with a 6.17, and Noah Dupuy, he has a 6.7 and a 0.5, and this is the 7. Nice air there. One of the best airs we've seen so far on this event, I think. So 7-point ride for that one, and looks fun right now, Kikas. It's more towards the middle of the beach. There's left, rights.
Yeah, I know. I guess with the high tide, that's the best bank. Close to the pier was getting really tricky, really hard to pick the good ones. And I guess on the middle of the beach, you just have more options. You see João just put on a 6.27, so that's pretty good tight heat to start with.
Yeah, we have big numbers on this one. We can expect Adur to put anything above a 6-point ride as well. So this is going to be a tight hit. And we were seeing actually Iago surf this morning, and he was surfing really good. So we can expect big things from him as well. And on your heat, looked really hard to get that back up.
Yeah, it was hard just to find a good wave. I was lucky enough to get that 6.33 to start with, and then I knew all I needed was probably a 3 or a 4 just to to back something up. We were sitting by the pier. The rip just started coming through the lineup, and it was just really hard to find a scoreable wave. I think everyone was struggling. And yeah, so that's about it. I guess that's why now by the last hit everyone moved to the middle of the beach. On the hit before we saw a couple guys moving to the middle of the beach as well, and probably we'll see the girls moving there as well.
Yes, we will, as we see Adur here on his first one, a bit of a throwaway, and this was Iago's backup. Smaller wave, 2-turn combo, 393 for that one. So judges have been a bit bias on these smaller waves with a lot of turns. They want to see only 1-turn waves in bigger waves. So yeah, Ido on the previous heat got a big number on a single wave maneuver, single wave turn. And yeah, this it has been really good so far. We have João Maria Mendonça in the lead, and João, good comp for him, right? He's been consistent.
Really consistent. João's an amazing surfer.
He is.
Some people know him more for the big barrels and big waves, but he's an overall really good surfer. He's got a really good technique, and all he needs to do is to make good choices. Here he is again. Wow, that was a nice turn to finish up.
As we see all the Portuguese crew there. Is that Shishu?
Yeah, that's his coach, Shishu.
Yeah. Is Shishu there? I was trying to understand who it was. I didn't want to say Rodrigo Souza again because he has been coaching a lot of people this event. He coaches everyone. And as we see the last turn here of João, the money turn, as we expect there on a big section. I think he will improve on that 4.5 on this one. And João in the lead with a solid start. But right behind him, we have some big numbers as well, but looks like João is going to put another big number on the board. So 6.27 for the last of João Maria Mendonça. So nice lead. He's got 14 minutes to go, so now he can get a bit loose and try maybe some bigger turns on his next few waves. And I wanted to know what is your schedule now?
My schedule's pretty mellow. I'm just gonna be home. Then we've got the Challenger Series starting in June in Newcastle. But that's about it. I'm just gonna be home, do some physio, some rehab, and try to surf as much as I can. Hopefully, we'll get some fun swells.
What's your connection with Newcastle? You feel like it's a place you can do well?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Newcastle. We see here João.
He's getting loose.
Yes, he's. I've spent a lot of time in Newcastle. Some of my best friends are from there. Ryan Callanan, for example.
Is Connor from there? No, barely.
No, Connor lives in Lennox Head.
Oh yeah, it's true.
But yeah, so I've spent a lot of time there. I used to work with my physical coach used to be from there a few years ago, so I used to go there and do some prep work on the off season. So I've spent a lot of time there. It's a really cool town, and there's some fun waves. So hopefully we can start with some good surfing over there.
And we heard that Julian Wilson and Josh Kerr, they are back.
Yeah, so how good is that?
The Tuddies Club, the Dads Club, they are back. So it's always good to see them having another crack. And nice turn here by Adur. Unfortunately, he couldn't hold to that maneuver at the end there. But yeah, Josh Kerr, how old is he right now? Do you know?
Not sure, but he's looking good. I had a few surfs with him. I had a few surfs with him last year in J-Bay on a special event from World Surf League.
And he's looking good.
And he was looking really good. We've got a good fan club from Iago, I'm guessing, and Adur.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, because they have been supporting every basket that goes in, so I don't understand who's the best friend of that group.
Oh,
as you see,
big turn from Noah.
Basketball, as we see Noah. Nice turn there. So we can expect another good number for him. 5.07 for that one. Waves look fun now.
It looks a lot better. At least from here.
Here it looks a bit. It's always a bit more blue here, and the waves look a bit bigger.
The camera guys are doing an
amazing job. Yeah, an amazing job. Yeah, and Adur having a bit of a shocker on this one. 11 minutes to go, and he's sitting on a 2 and a 1.
I know. Well, if he made that last turn we just saw, it would have been probably a keeper. He's going on a wave now.
Wow.
Wow, that's a good wave. That's a good turn. Let's see what the judges think.
Do you reckon that he's going to go into the 6? You want to try to say the exact score?
Me?
Yeah, I always try to. I think it's going to be a 6-2-3.
I'll probably go with a...
You want to go for the 6-4-7?
No, I'll go with a high 5 probably. I think this is a bit better than Noah's last wave, so I'll go with probably a
5.87,
somewhere there. Yeah, 5.6, 5.7. Yeah, around those numbers.
Well, you want to say the exact number?
No, I don't know the exact number. Don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, we always try to say the exact number just for fun, but we haven't got it once, right? I almost got one by 0.03. Yeah, I said 7, and it was a 7.03. So I was what did I said 6.23, right?
6.23. Well, 6.10. That's a good. Yeah, no. I think it's a right score, and he's back in the heat. So there's 10 minutes to go. João again. This wave looks, wow.
That
nice
wave
turn.
looks like a rifana. Wow. 2 big turns there.
And he just keeps building scores.
He needs to, because everyone behind him is surfing really well. So look at this wave. Take it away, Kikish.
I know, just beautiful bottom turn. He wraps it around, and then a really good finish. Powerful. 2 turns. That's all you need. 2 turns to get a good score.
Nice angle here. Oh, look at this camera work. Nice turn there. This was filmed on the shoulder of the cameraman, so nice shoulder there by the cameraman. And
very stable shoulder.
Yeah, that shoulder is so stable. Why buying a tripod when you have a good shoulder?
I know.
But yeah, Iago there trying to get rid of that 393. Big snap, the first one, and then the second one, he got a bit stuck. And nice hit. I think this is going to be one of the highest scoring hits of this round if they keep plugging away some big numbers.
It's a really tight one. Everyone needs around a 5-point ride to jump into the first, into second, or it's so close. Everyone's got a good score. They just need a solid backup.
Yeah, when is as we see the replay of Adur, nice backhand snap there, blows the fins out. I don't think it's going to go as high as the previous. Wave was smaller, really technical though. But yeah, as you said, when you have like a tight hit like this, do you get like a bit confused in the water? Like imagine like this, you have like a 6.93, then a guy has a 6, and then another one has like a 7 but a 3, and then you start getting confusing.
To be honest, I think it just makes things simple, because you know which wave you gotta go. Everyone's got a 6, you know you're gonna at least need another 6 to make it through. So you just gotta sit and then choose the right wave, because a 4 is not gonna buy it. Like we see, Iago's got a 6 and a 4, and he still needs a 6. So sometimes it just keeps it simple. Where when you need a 4, a 3.5, it's really easy to go on worst waves and make bad decisions, because you're just looking for a smaller score. When you're needing a 6, you know exactly what kind of wave you want to go.
Yeah, that's true. That simplifies things. And while we wait for a couple more sixes on this heat. I think we're going to go into a commercial break. And so stay with us if you want to see a bit more of this at the Caparica Surf Fest 2025.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to Caparica Surf Fest. 5 minutes to go, and we still have in the lead João Maria Mendonça with a pair of sixes, Noah Dupois with a 7 and 507, Iago Domingues with a 617 and 407, Adur Amatrian needing that 598.
Adur,
Oof.
another solid turn. I don't think, but that's not going to be the 6 he needs.
Yeah, he didn't add much space to do like a proper bottom turn and attack it, so he needed to keep the turn a bit short. So 437 for him, and we see Iago on a really good looking wave, and wow.
That's a solid turn.
Is that 591?
That could be, I think, that could be on the 591 range.
6.5?
I think I would go
647.
6-1, or I'm just comparing this turn with the turn from Adur, where he got the 6.1. I think this was a really nice turn. He committed to only one turn with a deep bottom turn and really attacked the lip, and that's going to be the point of difference, I think.
So you think it's going to be enough?
Could be. It's going to be right there.
I think it's going to be enough. I think it's going to be a 647.
647?
643. Let's watch it again. 643, I believe. I think the judges have been hearing me, and sometimes they put the score before.
Okay.
You know. Nice turn here. 6.5. I almost got it.
Here,
I said 6.5 at the first.
Are you a judge or?
I'm connected to the judges tower, and every time I say the score, they just dialed in what I say. They stop thinking by themselves.
And he jumps to first.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we were watching João had the leads the whole heat for 22 minutes, and now all of a sudden, Noah needs a 5.5 to jump into second. So
I said 6.47. I should have kept my initial thinking 6.5.
Yeah.
Was going to be emotional to actually say the exact score for the first time the whole event with you here, but I'll have to wait for another time.
And this is interesting. We see Iago, who's first, is blocking Noah, even though Iago's got fourth priority. João, who's sitting second and who's got his, who's got priority, who should be blocking. Or I guess, yeah, we see Adur here.
Yeah, I think they're doing like ISA games.
Probably.
Trying to help Adur get through. Nice hair. Looked like he stopped in slow-mo on the air.
He almost had it.
And back then when I was young, I don't know if you used to do this, but on the PlayStation when I was watching surf videos, I would press X to take a photo.
Yeah.
And like compete with my friends to see like who's the best.
Who's
and
the
then
best
score, yeah. With the next, like you press X on the exact moment and you're like,
great shot.
Like 6.2.
6.2?
Yeah, like on a Joel Parkinson's curve. And then a bit further was a 9. As we see, nice pop.
It should have been a good score.
Yeah, I think so. It would improve that 617, I think. Because it was higher than Noah's first air.
Yep.
The tail was a bit more inverted, so. As we see now,
João blocking Noah, which is probably the smartest decision. Make sure Noah doesn't go on a good wave and make sure he doesn't get the 5-5.
1 minute to go.
How this pans.
1 minute to go now. So João here seeing Adur on the other side. And he knows Iago is going to block Noah. So he went to the other side. Yeah, Noah is just desperate. He has been being blocked by everyone, so that's always annoying. What do you do when you get blocked like this?
Well, you just try to sell a bad wave to the guy who's blocking you and then hope there's a better one behind and make sure you get the score.
And you think it's better to move away from the main peak or stay on the main peak and try to sell there?
Depends. Well, we see Adur here.
Oh,
good first turn, and the wave just fights away.
Yep, I think that's it for this one. Iago Domingues wins it. João Maria Mendonça is gonna stay in second, and we see Shishu and Afonso Antunes there celebrating this hit of João Maria Mendonça, and it was great.
It was awesome. Good job.
Good job by them both. Great surfing, really consistent, and they're into the man-on-man. So man-on-man heats, do you reckon it's a bit easier to compete in them?
Yeah, I do. I like man-on-man heats. Just easier to make decisions, and you know, you're just surfing against another surfer, and you don't have 3 guys taking your waves. And yeah, if you know, just.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you one more question. I believe it's the right moment. We are on the screen. Everyone is watching us. You want to stay with me for one more heat?
One more heat? Oh, sure, I'll do.
Or you're.
No. I'll do.
You said you had a mellow schedule, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You were gonna do something.
I should have said. Okay,
let's do one more.
To do.
Okay, let's do one more. And while we wait for the next heat, we're going to go into a short commercial break, and we're going to be right back with more action at the Caparica Surf Fest 2025.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to Costa de Caparica. That is the World WSL Europe Qualifying Series European title trophy. Federico Moraes in the booth. We tried to get rid of him, but he wanted to stay on. Mate, have you had one of those? You must have one of those in your locker.
I've never had one of those.
Never had one?
No.
What?
The only time I won a 6,000 in Europe, which was in Azores, it didn't count for the rankings. So only the small ones count.
All right, live action. I reckon Pauline Nadeau, she's probably got 18 of those trophies at home. She's been around a long time and she's still absolutely ripping. We've got Francisco Veselko as well, the former world junior champion. And she's right up in the rankings. She's got to get through probably this heat to be super safe, just to be sure. Pauline just cracking off the top there. And they'd seen that style before. And Pauline just a three-turn combo. So yeah, we've got Federico in the booth. We've got Chico still. You know, what were you guys talking about? Just shooting the breeze, were you? What, just cover some serious
We were
topics,
talking about Challenger Series qualification implications, you know? Like on the previous heat, we had a lot of implications.
Yeah, I bet you talked through them.
And,
well, it looks like Iago, he probably is safe now. He needs to get through, I think, one more heat, and he's going to be on the Challenger Series, joining you in Newcastle, Freddie. So that was some big news. And João Mendonça, wow, he's rocketing up the rankings as well. So
Does he have
many great servers
of qualifying?
Who?
João Maria Mendonça.
I think he's far down. I mean, he might have to win it. I'll double check on that. But yeah, he hasn't had many results. So, but yeah, he's getting closer and closer. Is he now into the quarterfinals? That Challenger Series. It's got to be one of the most brutal competitive series there is, hey, Freddie? 100, so many great surfers, 85 or 6 events all over the world. Looks like Iago's qualified. There's João Mendonça. He's so stoked. He's absolutely pumped. Yeah, it's just so hard to get through. Only 10 surfers get through. I mean, it's brutal, right?
It's brutal. There's only, well, this year there's only 5 events. I think 4 of them count, so you just can't make no mistakes. And there's a lot of good surfers, like you said.
And it's cutthroat, like from the first heat, sudden death, isn't it? There's no
exactly. There's no rapid charge round or whatever.
Yeah.
It's you go there, 30 minutes, you suck, you go home.
You got
literally.
Yeah, that's it.
You just fly another 36 hours back home.
I know, and it could be 7 o'clock on a 3-foot Merriweather morning, couldn't it? You know, like a little beach break at Pogo's there or something. So that's the sport, though. That's why it's so compelling. But you've got to be in it to win it. And yeah, all these surfers on the European tour trying to crack that all-important top 10 on the rankings to get on the Challenger Series, with the CT being the ultimate goal. How much of the CT do you watch now, mate? You still get pretty heavily invested, or just try and just watch when your mates are on, or how much of it?
I've been trying to watch it.
Yeah.
It gets hard with the lay days. It's easier when you see there's a good window swell and you just watch it back to back. But yeah, I did watch the El Salvador comp. I think it was really fun. And yeah, whenever Connor, Ryan, Leo, all those boys are surfing, I'll try to watch it.
Yeah, I bet you would have frothed that El Salvador wave. I'd imagine that would suit your surfing pretty well if you were in that 6 to 8 foot right-hand point.
It looks like a really fun wave. I was there a few years ago for QS back in the day. I went with Nick von Rupp, and it's a really fun wave. We see Pauline here again.
So live action, just in and out. She had a 6 for that last backhand wave. Chico, you been there? You been in El Salvador? Been everywhere else, haven't you?
No, in El Salvador I've never been because I think they're afraid of I can connect the dots on that right now.
Yeah, the power.
Yeah, and they don't want to see it, you know.
Yeah. That backhand, that powerful backhand.
You go into the customs, they're like, big stamp.
It's just like
too powerful.
It's too powerful.
Straight to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, Kiko's, he has a little secret. He has been really invested in golf.
Yes.
He's one of the best in Cascais. From 30 to 40 years old, he's one of the top 10.
Under 35 champion.
He's got, how do you say in golf?
Handicap?
Handicap.
Yeah. So we got here Teresa Montblo's coach, imparting some advice.
E aí já estamos um bocadinho mais em cima, encostado à parede. Estou a chegar aqui, segunda classificada no ranking.
I'm going to get a translation there. Freddie, what was the coach's advice, and what would your advice be?
I was trying to. I think what he said was just try to manage the first half of the heat and be on top of the game, and then the second half you just can put pressure on her, something like that. I think. Right?
I think it was he was saying just do 2 scores and go on top of her to put pressure because she's younger.
Crikey, aggressive. Bombolo, she does not messing around. She's obviously taking it very seriously. Huge heat for her as well, being on. I think she came into 5th or 6th on the Challenger Series, on the qualifying series ranking. So she still needs a couple of heats to make sure she's, absolutely guaranteed the spot. So, yeah, put pressure on the young opponent. She's up against Tiara, who's really, really young. It does make sense, Freddie. How much of the opponent's age or experience or abilities do you think about when you're going out in a person-on-person heat?
Yeah, well, I work with Dog, and Dog uses anything, right? So Dog really pays attention to that, and whenever you just see how your opponent, if he cracks under pressure or how he reacts when you put pressure on him, that's really important because you can manage your heat around that and the way you surf the heat and the way you approach the start of the heat or the end of the heat. So that's definitely very important.
There's nothing more than Dog loves than putting pressure on people, is there? That's his go-to thing. There's a nice first turn from Addo. There's the second one, and she can't make it. So this is the experienced one up against Veselko. Francisca has been just plotting her course. She's been a little bit slow. 2 waves, a couple of 4s and a 3.5 in this one. The former world junior champion. They've had some battles over the years. And her approach is Shiko. What went wrong here, mate?
Yeah, nice snap, and then the section wasn't right, wasn't there, so she couldn't finish.
Yeah, she couldn't finish. Tell you what, though, I just went out and had a look. Have you been? You've been in here the last hour or so, but outside the crowds are massive.
Yeah,
everyone's piling in. There's loads of people on the beach, loads of people on the promenade. Real festival vibes at the coast of Caparica at the moment. You can feel the energy. And crowds, look at that. Huge numbers. The Portuguese love their surfing. They come down here for a holiday and they are super pumped. Also, someone down there is super pumped. Claudia Pinto, she's on the beach. What do you got for us, Claudia?
Wrapping up the day here at the beach for men's, going into the quarterfinals, switching the game at the last minute. How does that feel?
Last minute wave. I was so nervous in this hit. So I knew that if I don't know 100%, but if I made this hit, I was on the Challengers almost. So I was feeling a bit nervous. I started really good with a 6, and then I was sitting, and I couldn't see the good waves. And at the end, like in the last 5 minutes, I got another 6 that put me on the lead. So super stoked on making this hit because it was a hard one. And when they are this hard and you don't go like on the lead at the beginning, I mean, those hits, they are really, really good for your head.
Well, definitely works out. Going back to the action with the girls in the water.
Happy, Iago. So one of the few surfers in that top 10 ranking still in the event. We've had so many of those top guys get knocked out. Kuznane's still in, Keanu Lassa, but we've had Afonso Antunes got knocked out, Maxim Hussino, Patrick in the dark, Paulo Nicholas. So yeah, he's one of those surfers that's just really making this event count. Still in with a shot of winning it, and looks like he's pretty set for set for the Challenger Series. He's a young. You must have seen him surf over the years, Freddie. Seen him sort of on the Billabong stable back in the day. He's sort of improving rapidly, isn't he, Iago? Every time you see him, every year he just seems to be going through one of those growth spurts in terms of performance.
I think he used to ride for Quickie back in the day, and then he got dropped, and now I guess Billabong picked him up. But yeah, he's a really good surfer. He's got a solid base, and yeah, and the last few sessions I've been paying attention. We watched him surf today. Me and Francisco just before the comp started, and he got some sick waves. I had a few sessions with him in Santa Cruz a couple weeks ago, and he was surfing really good. So yeah, he's a solid surfer. Looks like a really good competitor as well. So hopefully we can get back together a strong Euro force.
Here we go. Speaking Euro force, so that's Pauline. She just kicks out of that one. What about Francisco? It's been a little bit quiet. 12 minutes to go, only 2 waves ridden. Chico, what is that? Would that have been a strategy, you reckon, or just the way it's panned out, or it's been a bit too selective?
Yeah, Kika, she likes to start her heats really fast and strong. And sometimes, as Kika was saying, she cracks a bit under pressure when she doesn't start well. So I would like to see her get a good number on the board right now, because with time passing by, you can see her scratching her foot there. It's so annoying when the leash gets on the foot when you're paddling on a heat.
It is.
You just kind of get like, why am I using this? Why? I just want to get rid of this leash around my foot. But yeah, Kika here, yeah, she's just trying to come back on this one, but she's not that far behind.
Yeah, she needs a 4.68, so she's got 10 minutes on the clock while she sorts her leash out and the rest of the heat. We're going to have a short commercial break and come back with more live action right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to the Caparica Surf Fest 2025. We are joined in the booth here with Federico Moraes. We're waiting for the scores here for the first quarterfinal of the women's. Talking about the leash, remember the old days, Freddie? There was the odd theory. Hold that thought as we see this wave here. Francisco belting it. So one big turn, a 4.7. That was her third wave. And Pauline also waved this just before we went to the break. Little slash off the top, comes around the corner, and another one. And finishes off. So that's just a 5.17 to back up a 6. In the old days where some surfers didn't wear a leash in the heat. Remember the theory being that you're less likely to fall off if you're not wearing a leash. You remember that theory?
I remember that. I remember a lot of Brazilians doing that. But it's
risky.
It's a ballsy decision. I'll take my leash any day.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? One mistake, but yeah, there you go. So now Francisca Veselko, the Portuguese hope, now needing a solid score of 6.47. You said she had a bit of time. Well, she's starting to run out of time, Chico, and that's getting up towards a tough number to get. What's she got to do? She's only caught 3 waves. She catch more waves, keep throwing the dice, or wait for a set. What would you do?
Kika is really powerful, so I think she needs a wave like this one. That Pauline just catched and go for a big turn at the end, and she will improve for sure. So with 8 minutes to go, she just needs one wave, a big section, and to apply the power she has. And I think she's gonna go into the 6s and 7s. So I know it's a healthy number, but I believe Kika has the technique and the power to make that number happen really easy.
Yeah, well, she's going to need a wave like that. That had a big section. Pauline did hit it, but it wasn't particularly clean exit. So we'll see where that comes in, but might help the score, Freddie. It was a big section here. Did she connect with it quite well, or a little bit late?
I think she was just a touch light. But yeah, a bit earlier that would have been a good score for sure.
Yeah, she just timing. Here goes Veselko down the line. What she got there's a big turn, so that's better timing. You can hear the Portuguese lads in the booth. They liked it. So that was, and I hate to say this, but Chico was bang on the money there in terms of what type of wave she needed. And this turn, yes, so much more timing. Got a bit of fin release, chasing that 6.47. So game on.
7-7.
Yeah, I'm going 8.
Oh, I told you I'm coaching Kika.
Yeah, an 8-point ride.
I just sent him a text before this wave.
Freddie, bang on the money, an 8-point ride. So that has just flipped the script. Suddenly, that's how quick things can change. Was sort of needing a score and one big turn, and she is back on. So Veselko, really impressive. Talked about the potential to sort of crack under pressure. Well, she's proved herself there, hasn't she, Fred?
Yeah, I think I've traveled quite a bit with Francisca, and she's a super solid surfer. We see Pauline here. Yeah, not the best wave, but yeah, Francisca is she's really cold, so which is good for a competitor, and she's a really smart surfer. She's young, but she's got a lot of experience. She's a really powerful surfer, so for conditions like these, where sometimes all you need is one big turn, they really help the way she surfs, and we just saw it. All she needed was the right section, and she drops a night. So yeah, stoked for her.
Super impressive from former world junior champion, an 8-point ride with a single turn, and that's how quickly it can change. She'll also be lying off the Challenger Series. And she goes again. You can tell she's got a bit of energy now on her backside this time. Probably one more turn, a floater, and tries to connect it and can't get around that. So that's not going to be...
Lovely jump there.
Good dismount.
Yeah.
Very important part of surfing.
Would be funny if the judges scored that.
They should. It should be part of the criteria.
Right?
Yeah. Who's got the best dismounts in surfing? Chico? Who springs to mind? Margot. Margot's got some good ones. Margot Margerson.
That's impressive.
Katie Simmers has some good ones.
Yeah, Katie Simmers does have a good dismount. Yeah.
Looks like she got shot out of nowhere.
Yeah, she
right?
does the cannonball.
She's standing in and then
yeah,
she just disappears like a...
It's called the sniper. Yeah, she gets sniped sometimes.
She gets sniped and the knees just bend like...
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and then there's a cannonball. Someone who does the cannonball, like... Yeah, there's some just good dismounts out there. I think the sport needs to evolve.
It's like a form of claim as well sometimes.
Crowd would love it.
What?
Oh, if you had a dismount to the judging criteria.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah, imagine some flyaway pullouts you get.
Imagine how confusing it is already. Imagine with a dismount included.
No, you just you have the priority judge, you have the dismount judge. Yeah. Only one judge, right? That's not complicated.
Yeah.
And then you have a special prize for the dismount.
Yeah.
Each comp, 50K.
Yeah.
And everyone training dismounts for like a year.
And 1 Bitcoin.
What have you been doing on the off season? Training dismounts.
Yeah, dismounts only. Okay. We're an ideas factory in here. Right now though, we're going to have a heat recap. I might get Chico to talk us through this heat. How did we get here? Addo started up strong. Veselko came back.
Yeah, Pauline started off with a couple of good numbers. She's surfing good, really powerful, quick in transition, and but then Kika came back with his 4.7 and the 8. So she needed a bigger wave, a bigger section, and 8-point ride.
Wow, that angle shows it all. Awesome surfing from Francisca. So yeah, under pressure, a lot on the line, and she delivered. Now it means Pauline, the French veteran, now needing a 6.71 to move up in to that all-important first place. So it's tight. She's got a little bit of time. You can never discount her. She's won at this beach quite a few times before, so she'll back herself, but she knows time is starting to tick away pretty quick. As is our time in the booth, mate. You've done 2 heats in a row. You're pretty much on the roster now, Freddie. You can go invoice Spinola now for your time in the booth.
I might do that.
Yeah, once you do more than 1 heat, you're on the
the invoice roll.
Right? Yeah, invoice Rob and Spinola will sort you out. So that's good. But much appreciated having your time in here, and look forward to seeing you hit that Challenger Series. Also tomorrow, big day. What's the plan, mate? How are you approaching the quarterfinal? Who's your opponent? Do you know who your opponent is already?
I don't know. Who got second on the second heat?
That's a very good question. Which we should know.
I wasn't here.
No, I was.
You were.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever it is, be warned.
He's a surfer.
Yeah, he's
I can
definitely
promise
a
you
surfer.
that.
He's a good one as well, I'd bet.
Pauline.
As we see Pauline live action chasing the 6.71. So, I'm sure Dog will know. Dog will know. He's already formulating a plan based on weaknesses for your opponent.
I don't think Dog watches the 3000s anymore.
He does.
He wins events with Gabriela Bryan.
He's
He's the big dog now. Nah. He's not just a dog. He's the big dog.
He's the big dog. Nah, mate. He doesn't miss a heat. He's up there all night. He's just He hasn't missed a Pauline's heat in about 10 years, so he wouldn't be about to start now.
Exactly.
So he's all over it, mate. Don't worry. He will send you a text afterwards, putting some opponent. If you find out who the opponent is, find them some weaknesses. No, but it's a big day tomorrow. But then also for the Challenger Series, couple of months training. How long are you going to go out for Australia for before the event? You got a week or two out there beforehand, or?
Yeah, at least 2 weeks, just to get rid of the jet lag, and right. It's going to be cool to catch up with Ryan, hopefully, and some of the boys in Newey, and hopefully we get some fun waves.
Yeah, well, it's my hometown as well, so I'll put out the word that you're okay.
Okay, thanks.
I'll try and smooth things over with the boys.
Please.
And you might be able to get the odd wave, but I can't guarantee you anything. But all I can do is do my best. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Redhead's off limits, of course. I mean, you can't even go there. I mean, that's completely off limits. But everywhere else, I can try and smooth things over. Okay, last shot of the title, and that is Pauline Ado. She's not going to make it, so it looks like the Portuguese surfer is going to get through this. Really, really good surfing under pressure. Pauline, the veteran, hasn't given up. Just didn't quite have the single manoeuvres or the power to match Veselko, and she goes through now to the semi-final. So a big result cements her ranking spot on the Challenger Series, and she'll be eyeing off a win for sure, and that trophy and some more important cash, which is come in handy when you're travelling to Australia and competing against the very best. The hooter goes. I'd like to thank Shiko. You've done another stint.
I've been around for a while now.
You've been around. You're a veteran status. She does a nice little icing on the cake there. Thanks, Freddie, for your time and efforts, mate. Really appreciate coming in and giving your insights and your experience, and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Looking forward to that quarterfinal, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Shiko, well, you've been Shiko, which is that's important as well. So thanks for your time.
I'm glad I've been myself over the course of this day.
No, you've done well, mate. You've done well. Right now, though, we're going to go to a short commercial break. Freddie's going to go and get some time out of the booth. We're going to have a little rest, recuperation, come back with the rest of the quarterfinals right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone. set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to Costa de Caparica. There's the scenes on the beach. Huge crowds, great waves, and the Europeans' best surfers all coming down to compete for that all-important rankings. Trying to get on the Challenger Series, we've got Teresa Bombolo, a Portuguese surfer of some note. She's come so close to the CT a few times in her career. She's out there. She'll be the favourite, but up against Tiara Vanderhuls. Dutch surf has been super impressive. Really young, just starting out on her competitive journey, but has been impressive throughout the course of the event. So it's a classic case of experience versus youth, which we've kind of got in the booth as well, as we see Teresa doing 2 turns on the backhand. One of her strengths, her backside surfing, and she's won down in Caparica multiple times before. As we see her, we've joined in the booth. We got rid of Frederico Moraes. We brought in Zay Ferreira. And mate, you look a bit different. Something's changed with you, mate. You look a bit older or something. Or is that just because you've been hanging out with me? It's quite tiring.
I think so. It takes a toll on you.
It does. Mate, well, imagine being me.
Yeah.
Imagine how tired I am, just listening to myself the whole time.
I understand. But definitely we've got that classic matchup. Someone with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Mrs. Tiara Vanderhuls been, surfing very well. Already did a few upsets in this contest. And Teresa, she's looking for a result. She's had a lot going on for her in the last decade, I could say. And looking for a big result here. Another one. She's won here, veteran. I think she's maybe not yet a veteran, but super experienced and surfing really well. Beautiful turn there. That's what the judges want to see.
Yeah, and Tiara on the backside and just waiting for her last section here. It's really whippy. But someone who does know a little bit about winning, and that is Claudia Pinto. She's down on the beach, and I think she might have Francisco Veselko.
Crowd cheering here at the beach for the Portuguese surfer that just made it to the semifinals with that powerful turn, giving you the 8 points. Guide us through that wave.
When I was paddling into the wave, I knew there was only a one section to hit, and I just went big for one turn. I was kind of lost out there and trying to get waves where I could fit 2, but it was pretty hard to see which waves were going to be good. So just took a couple waves, tried to create opportunities, and I'm glad that one stood up and I could do one big turn, and I guess the judges like that.
Now time to recharge, feeling confident for the finals day tomorrow?
Yeah, it should be a good day. This wall was supposed to pick up and it's way bigger than this morning. I really like these conditions, so hopefully tomorrow it's pretty similar and we can have a fun final day.
Congrats, good luck for the next one.
Yes, Francisca. So we've just got some clarification on all these qualification rankings and who needs what. The women, there is just 4 qualifiers onto the Challenger Series, so super tight at the top. So 4 women will qualify for the Challenger Series, plus 1 wild card, which will be decided, we'll find out, and in the men's. So basically, there's 7 plus 1 wild card. A lot of those have already been decided, but which we'll get to tomorrow. The main point of interest is Ruben Vittorio, who's now in the quarterfinals. If he wins, he can actually overtake Maxime Husino and knock Max out. So I'll tell you what, 3 heat wins and Max won't be on the Challenger Series, which would be a massive blow, one of Europe's best surfers. So there's so many.
Wild card is given to Kikas, no? I think.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yes. So, yeah, he has got the wild card from the European side, so we'll see how that works out for the women. But on the qualifying, that's why these heats, Teresa is just outside that top 4. So this is such a massive, massive heat for her. As we see, Tiara just kicking the fins out, bit of progression, can't quite make it. So on the women's side, we've got Tia Zabrowski, who's already way out in front. Francisca Veselko, she is already qualified now, virtue of this result. Annette Laylor, I think she got through as well. She got qualified and then pulled out of the event because she was already, I think, a lock for it. I think we need to get some...
Pulled out of this event?
Well, I think so. I haven't had actual confirmation of that, so I've got to be careful. But, yeah, she's no longer in the event, that's for sure. And you see Tiara just kicking it out and going from aerial, not quite making it. But it's all about this fourth spot. So, Annette...
Who's sitting
Gonzalez,
in fourth? Annette?
Annette, yeah. And Gonzalez next to Barry. And then Teresa is in fifth spot. So she's currently just one spot outside the qualification spot. So, I mean, that shows you how huge this is for her, this heat. To get on that Challenger Series is absolutely pivotal if she wants to return to CT, where she did a few wild cards at the start of last year on the CT. So, yeah, that's the level she's going for. And we see the rankings coming up there, and we see Teresa there in fifth place. There's a nice first top turn, trademark swoop, and there's a second one. That is great surfing from Teresa. We had the drone shot, which always sort of makes it look a little bit flatter than it was from the front angle, where we might see some really nice turns. But yeah, you can see Teresa down there. Maria Saldado and Sarah Lasega. So she's Sarah in 10th spot. She's still right in the mix. And Tessa Tyson no longer in the event. So Teresa, she needs something big in this event. And at the moment, she's looking pretty solid up against a young opponent. But even for a person of experience, she's got to be nervous, right?
Yeah, but doesn't show it when she's surfing. I think she actually performs better when she has a goal, a hard goal in front of her. And I think she's showing exactly that. She's used to that. She's used to the pressure, big stakes. So yeah, I think she'll do good. I'm just not sure. Yeah, some weird things happen. Like Annette didn't show up for her eat yesterday.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, exactly. We're not quite sure there's injuries or what was going on. So yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, don't quite understand. And they're separated by a thousand points, right? So I actually don't yet know what is the result Teresa actually needs to move ahead.
Yeah, well, she definitely needs to get through this, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll find out. But at the moment, got a really commanding heat lead at 13.77, 7 and a 6.77. So the coach, as we saw another coach here with Maria, but the coach for Teresa said, go out there, get two. Own the first half of the heat, get 2 scores, put pressure on your opponent. And I tell you what, she's done exactly what the coach has said.
Yeah.
There's one thing getting the strategy, there's another thing executing it. And Teresa has done that to the T. And right now, the young surfer, she actually, I'm pretty sure she from Caraco, which is like tiny little islands off the coast of Venezuela, up in the Caribbean Sea. Curacao, sorry. My mistake, my poor pronunciation. Not the first word I butchered this week, I'll tell you, and it won't be the last. But yeah, it's a really interesting little spot. I actually don't know much about it in terms of the waves they get or what, but
me neither. I do know, which is interesting, her sponsor is a CBD brand, and you know, I just find that interesting.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
How surfing has been, you know, homing different or housing different brands that identify with the sport. That's cool. You've confirmed it. She's training with Yamarta. So young surfer representing the Netherlands. So a lot to come ahead of her. And yeah, Teresa, she definitely is a sniper because she just goes, finds her targets, and gets to do what she does best. Yeah, you know, she'll be fighting until an apocalypse happens.
Wow.
That's her style.
Yeah, she's a warrior. She's got a commanding heat lead at the moment. So there is some really good waves in Tiara's hometown on the northern side. A bit like you can imagine some of those waves in Barbados and some of those type of waves. A bit more swell protected. But when it turns on, there's some really good quality reef breaks in a beautiful part of the world. So, yeah, Tiara Vanderhuls deciding to use her Dutch heritage to surf on the European qualifying series, which is to our advantage. And although she hasn't particularly performed to her abilities in this quarterfinal, throughout the rest of the event, she's shown that she's going to be a force as she gets more experience and more maturity. And here she goes on a forehand this time, gets one turn.
Whoa.
You can see why, for explosive turns like that. So
lack of pressure too, you know, she has nothing to prove, everything to gain, and that, you know, makes you open up. I think that might, you know, be one of the best waves of the heat.
yeah, well, it was pretty critical. Wow, she didn't have much time, and she had to get up really quick. You can see Teresa looking over the top and whack. Yeah, great surfing from Tiara.
Tight bottom turn there, fin release, a lot of risk too. You know, it wasn't a set wave, but it wasn't a small wave. It was a fairly average wave in terms of size. So, you know, Francisca just got a nate in the previous heat for that one turn. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's going to make things interesting. I'm just saying that she's sort of boxed in, but she's just come up with a huge number, an 8.27. So, wow, it is game on. So just when we thought Teresa was kind of cruising, had boxer opponent in.
Wow.
Tiara came out and just went, you know what, I'm out of this headlock. And she's in with one massive turn. It's gone up to a 9-point ride, one of the judges. So that, you know, well into the excellent range. So, you know, such a talent. We're just saying how she's been performing throughout the course of the event. Well, suddenly she's right there now. So that's the surfing she's capable of. Now she only needs a 5.5. 10 minutes on the clock as it stands. So this is nowhere near done yet, Zay Ferreira.
No, this just actually just started as a heat, you know. 5.5, that's what Tiara needs. Small score compared to what she just done. And truth is, she's been doing like 7 after 7, heat after heat, you know, upset after upset. Beautiful surfing from Tiara. And we'll get to see a lot of that in just a bit.
Yep, she's going to come back. There's a massive turn with more. Going to go to a quick commercial break and come back with more explosive surfing right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
We are back here live action, 9 minutes on the clock. A really, really fascinating heat right now. We've got Teresa Bombolo versus the up-and-coming Tiara Vanderhuls. Tiara has just leapt into the frame with an 8.27 for a single massive turn. And now she's chasing another score. I just saw, I think, Sadat on there. She's on that Town and Country board.
Tia Marta.
She's a charger.
Actually coaching her.
Right, cool. And yeah, she's going to have this turn. It's worth another look, isn't it, Zay? Because it was so explosive. hold the phone. She's going her backside this time. So Tiara up on her backhand. So one more turn again. And that way she can't hang on.
Now she has that taste in her mouth.
So she
that's Jan Martin. That's her coach. He's, well-established surfer coach and part of the French surf scene forever, and has produced a lot of talents. Has enabled actually a lot of talents to get to their best levels, and this would have been the score probably. I think she felt the taste of that one-turn wonder waves, and that's what she's going to be looking for, in my opinion, for the last.
Yeah, you can see Martin, he's like, oh, he knew that because that was the opportunity. I mean, she's going to get another one, you'd think, but that was the opportunity to get that 5-5. You see that she can definitely do it with a single turn. She just did it before on the left, so but she went down, and that's probably just a little bit of inexperience, bit of nerves.
Yeah, but Teresa will be looking to improve that 6.77, and I might be wrong, but I think she'll be using the same strategy. I think she'll be looking for like this one big turn, maybe even an air, because trust me, she won't be like leaving this easily.
No, she wants to put more pressure on. Pretty difficult. I mean, she's got such a it's pretty hard to improve on a 6.77. That shows you how well she's been surfing. But that one big excellent score has just thrown the cat amongst the pigeons, and she's got the lead, so she's in the best spot. But she'll know that as long as the 5.5 is needed from Tiara, it's still well within her grasp to lose this. 6.5 minutes. She's experienced, isn't she? She's been in the situation so many times before, Bombolo. So she'll know exactly what she needs to do. But it is going to come down, you think, to one wave perhaps from Tiara. Can she get that 5.5 she needs? Surf the next seat. Sarah, she's sitting just on the rankings on 10th, so she's an outside chance. If she can go a couple more heats, get to the final, she'll be right in the mix in terms of Challenger Series rankings. But that surfer currently in 5th spot on that rankings, Teresa, is the one now. I mean, it's just hard to kind of control your nerves and leave those rankings to one side, isn't it, Zay? But that's what she's got to do. She's got to concentrate on getting one wave, doesn't she?
Yeah, exactly. As we saw there, Maria Salgado getting ready for the next heat, and she's been on a roll actually. That's one of those surprises that you see doing well every year. Like that surfing surprises you, and she's been one of the standouts in the female competition for me. Really good on the rail, really good, competing, and yeah, Tiara still pedaling out.
Yeah, so from that wave, is that from that right hander? Just the swirls. It's getting bigger and more powerful, and she's got caught in that shallow bank. It's too far down the beach to use the rip to paddle back out and against the wall, so she's just been absolutely hammered by the sets. Finally gets a bit of clear water, and looks like Therese now is she's made the decision to go down and sit on her now. She's got priority, so
bit of pressure.
It's a bit of pressure. I mean, it's what you got to do. They talked about in the heat putting pressure on the younger competitor. She might be a bit more susceptible to just poor decision-making process if she knows it's all on the line, but she just spent 3 or 4 minutes getting pounded. If you have a look at her Instagram account, she's she loves the big waves. Like, I've seen some incredible footage of her at sunset, surfing some bombies near her place, toe surfing. So she likes the juice. So a few 4-footers ain't going to worry her, but now she's going to try and get away from her opponent. But good luck doing that. Teresa is going to sit all over her.
Yeah,
exactly. I haven't seen a lot of that.
It's going to be quite aggressive as we have a recap of this heat. There has been, not that many waves, but a lot of effectiveness in the actual wave. This was Teresa's first one, a 7 points, beautiful turn there. Judges really, scoring high, the good ones, and this is her second one. Just trademark Teresa Bonvalot, two smart turns there, and this is, you know, European new school surfing, which is pretty loose, solid, and beautiful. So, yeah, great. Look how close they are. Actually, like paddling, kind of synchronized there for a moment as well. So, yeah, that's all about the psychological game as well. It's not just, you know, the turns and the bottom turns and the airs you're able to do. There's this other side of competition which is about applying pressure, you know, mind games, and Teresa is going to go.
Yeah, so she's up, gets one turn in. That's not going to improve the score. I mean, she's on the rankings. It's all a bit fluid, this situation, but this is only 1,000 points ratings for the women. So so she can only get 1,000.
She needs to win.
Yeah, but even with 1,000 points, we're not sure if even that's enough.
Yeah, because she needs 1,100.
Yeah, so sorry for the misinformation. We're just trying to get it all to hand, but so only 1,000 points up for grabs at this stage. So even with a win, I mean, it'll put her right up there, and I think some information. Tessa Tyson might have got the wild card for the Europeans for the Challenger Series. So I will confirm that as well. But yeah, so just change things a little bit, but I mean, that's not going to affect her right now. She just wants to win this heat, wants to win the event. Tiara now chasing a 5.5. 2 minutes on the clock, and it means that she's under the pump. She's got that 8.27. Teresa took the wave, so she's got no priority. She's still going to sit on it just to get up in a grill, but Tiara can catch any wave she chooses. It's just whether there's going to be one comes in time. A few lumps appearing out the back. They're off that rip bank now, so it's more of a peak situation. You've just got to be a little bit more lucky that one pops up in your general vicinity, and if she does, a one turn might do it, but it looks like there's a lack of opportunity for Tiara. She's going to need it. She needs one more sort of score to come through, one more wave, one more opportunity. I think we're going to see a lot of this young woman in the future. As Teresa's getting really aggressive in terms of location. She's got the whole beach to play with. This beach is 500 metres wide. There's only 2 surfers on it, and Teresa's about 30 centimetres away from her.
Yeah,
but
and she's not closer because she'd get fined. Otherwise, she'd be like literally.
Yeah, she can't interfere. That's right. I mean, if there's or any blocking is an interference, so she's not in that sort of situation yet. But she's definitely getting up and around, but she got to be a little bit careful in terms of not causing any type of blocking
Last
interference.
Chance maybe here? Nope.
That one did well to leave that one behind. 19 seconds now, so she might have done the job. She can't go that one. It's a closeout, so it looks like we're going to see the end of Tiara. It's unfortunate. She has surfed so well. 5 seconds on the clock. This is right hand, and she stands up. I think she's going to get to it. She tried. She went down swinging. Big win for Teresa. Tiara Vanderhuls. Remember that name. We're going to see a lot of her in the future. But it was Teresa Bonvalot who just used her experience and her know-how. Too smart. A really good heat total as well. 13.77. So she's going to go now into the semi-finals, which is a big result. And we see a little victory lap here, but the local hope who's won here many times before. Surf great. So we got still two more heats to go, 2 more quarterfinals. We're going to a short commercial break and come and wrap it up here in the Costa Caparica Surf Fest 2025.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back. We are here at quarterfinal number 3 of the Women's Surfing Championships here in Costa de Caparica. 1,000 points up for grabs. And we've got another great matchup here. Maria Salgado. And just surfer there going down the hole. So you see the swell starting to build. Crowd's starting to get a mass on the beach. We've still got 2 quarterfinals. So as of the end of today's play, we're going to have just the 4 surfers left in the women's and 8 in the men's, set for incredible finals date tomorrow when we wrap it all up here. So we've got a lot more swell coming our way, and it's all go. But this way, first the blue.
Yeah, it looks like the wind is affecting the waves a bit more now. It's a bit crumbly, still fun, but Maria had this beautiful rail game there. From her, wave enters this inside section and she finishes. Of course she does. She's super solid in competition. 4-point ride for her. Starts off well, nothing amazing, but you can see her grit and confidence in her surfing, and that's beautiful to see.
Yeah, so Lesiaga there, currently setting down on the rankings, number 10th. Maria Salgado, though, such a really bright future. We've seen her just, had her first couple of qualifying series events, I think last year, the year before, and then each time you see her just improving dramatically. I mean, the surfing's improving, but also the competitive side of things is improving as well. So Maria is looking, like she's really starting to make a mark. A quarterfinal here, at the least, and up there from Santa Cruz. So yeah, got a great family support, good backing, training really hard, really focused on having a career in the sport. So we'll see where she can take it. A 4-point ride for that first one, and she's in the game. Yeah, that wind is still there. It's just pretty much straight westerly, isn't it? It's coming straight out. Couldn't be any more onshore if you tried, but luckily this little stretch of coast, it's still got those groins that break it up. I mean, some of the other exposed coasts would be pretty wild and woolly up, I'd imagine, on the rest of the Portuguese coast, but down here in Caparica just manages to be tucked away and deals with that wind. It's a pretty strong wind, but it still faces are clean and breaking up this swell nicely. As we see Lesiaga on a backhand, nice turn, nice bit of spray, and then a second turn to finish off. So back to back with Maria, she just kicks out before that way of things. I don't know if that right-hander, I saw, it'd be interesting to see these surfers have made the decision to go down in the middle beach, but I had a surf yesterday afternoon and watched it even during the high tide, and that right-hander was still breaking, running along, and if you had to wait a bit longer. So I don't know if there's still the opportunity to go and surf that way, but that's the decision they're going to have to make. Right now, though, we've got Teresa Bonvalo down on the beach with Claudia Pinto.
It's a great day for women surfing here in Portugal with Teresa Bonvalo locked in for the semi-finals tomorrow. How do you feel?
Yeah, it feels good. It's tricky out there, but there's one turn section kind of heavy, so you gotta go for those. It was a nice heat, I think, and I tried to manage everything that I could. And if there was another wave, I'll go hard as well.
Tomorrow you'll be sharing the heat with Kike, another Portuguese surfer. How you feel about that?
It's been some nice matchups. We've been on the QS and not even just that for so long and competing against each other. So I think it's going to be really fun. Hopefully the waves are good as well. So it provides some big surfing for everyone. And I think it's going to be a good day.
Thank you so much. Good luck for the next one.
Yeah.
They've been competing forever, both in the QSs and the nationals, so they're super used to that. They're good friends, but when it comes down to competition, that word does not exist, especially when you're talking about these two. They're super fierce competitors. That's why they did good. They do good. So, yeah, super keen to watch that.
Yeah, Teresa, she's so gnarly, isn't she, as a competitor? It's just within her. And even you saw that sitting all over her opponent. Okay, here goes Maria. Gets it up one turn and just, ooh, a nice dismount.
Yeah, that's nice.
But, yeah, that's what you got to do. She has respect for opponents, but everyone knows the game. Everyone plays by the rules. And, yeah, she's very, very good at it.
Yeah, so just that one floater. She does want to put something else in the board because Sarah had a 4.67 with those 2 turns in her previous wave. So Maria has a 3 point now, you know, so she's in, actually she's in second place. Sarah is in first place, but you know, this heat is starting and
it's Janina Zeitler. She's been probably one of the standout performers throughout the whole event. Got a 9-point ride yesterday from one of the biggest turns we've seen. So can't wait to see Janine. Just again, like, you know, these countries from Germany starting to step up in terms of getting really solid performers. We still had that, you know, Dutch surfer in the last heat, Tiara. So it's really exciting that these sort of non-traditional, let's call it, surfing, you know, countries are starting to produce incredible athletes, and yeah, Janine is one of those.
For sure. Nice first snap here. Wave kind of runs a bit. She sticks with it, and yeah, wave kind of dies out here for her. And I don't know, you know, between the 2 peaks, actually, like in the high tide, then you had some great rides. I think Maria is going to that right. At least she's a bit distanced from. Actually, Sarah is moving. But the thing is, like, even in the last heats, the best waves were done with that 1 turn, right? You know, that's so. I think surfers are like, okay, that's where the potential is. So, yeah, I think they're being, you know, their decision is based on that, I'd say. But
yeah, and judges have been rewarding that throughout the whole event, so it's not a bad strategy. I just wonder if there's just, I suppose it depends on your surfing too, would it? So if you think you've got one explosive turn, but if you think that your surfing is better linking turns and that's your strength, you might want to change it up. But yeah, it's a hard one.
Left looking good for Maria Salgado. Is she going? No, and she's going to lose priority. A lot of opportunity, but you know, this is not a mistake you want to do in a women-on-women heat.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah's going to go down, and you know, it wasn't an issue when they were surfing so far apart, but now they're a bit closer. It might become part of the package. You see as these women-on-women heats start, you'll see more of this, more cat and mouse, more interplay in terms of the interferences or priority use. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Sarah's going down now. Sit on it. As you see, also Elise Barton. So she is the UK surfer up against Janina Zeitler. So Alice is having a great heat, a great event as well. Working with Luke Dillon down there. We had a bit of a chat to Luke, didn't we, the other day? The former QS surfer and now sort of coach of Team GB.
Yeah. So wave here is. Yeah, I think Sarah went in that wave. Yeah, we'll check that out. But yeah, Luke, you know, he's decided, like officially decided to stop competing. I'm sure he'll still do a few QSs here and there, but decided to become a coach. And you know, you see a lot of surfers, like when they stop competing, you know, they find things to do, some relating to surfing, usually all relating to surfing. But he was saying like, man, you know, I've done this all my life. I think I'm a good competitor, and he is. Like he was always a good competitor, super smart. But it's different like when you're feeling it and when you're doing and when you have to communicate it. And so I think he's been like super focused on that process. And I really look at him as a leader too. And I think English surfing is really in good hands if they're in his hands.
Yep, you're right. As we see Salgado up and riding on a backhand, one turn, clicks the fins out. Yeah, he's a good guy. And they all respect him, and that's a massive part of that coaching process,
yeah, exactly,
having someone that you respect and has done it before. And he's just playing golf, basically. That's the other thing he does.
Right.
Plays off scratch.
Right.
So, like, you know, really, really good golfer. As we see Maria just getting up. It was a nice turn, just lacked a bit of, you know, didn't have a lip to hit. See the brains trust going through it all. Meanwhile, out the back, we've got Sarah. Maybe one turn here, a bit more of a media section if she can hit it. She does.
Yeah, that's a better one.
So try and improve on just a 2.67. So that was a bit more of a chunky section. She managed to get up and over it. Or just improve her score a little bit. It's been a bit of a slow heat in terms of numbers. 12 minutes to go. And we'll see if she can make it. But from this back angle, Zay.
Yeah, bigger wave, you know, aggressive on that approach. See, she's waiting for the section. They all know that, you know, this one turn waves, it's what's counting actually. The best scores are there. So I think she just did she'll do her best wave so far.
Yep, she could potentially get up there. So battle the fours, no surf been able to get up into that 5-point range just as yet. You see the sun pouring down. It's a bit hard to see. The surfers surfing pretty much separate peaks. I mean, there's no at this section of the beach. There's no real defined section. Just a bunch of peaks up and down, lefts and rights. So yeah, plenty of opportunity and no rip to speak of. Swell just slowly increasing. I think tomorrow we should see a proper jump in terms of the swell size and the period.
And the wind.
And the wind. Yeah, it's going to be a bit windy. It's going to be a bit more stormy, a bit more energy. But yeah, and you know, I think that's why we'll have to probably get on the high tide in terms of that right-hander, or pick the tides best. We only have approximately about 8 heats to run tomorrow as well for the finals. So that's all good. We've got plenty of time. We're going to go right now though. These surfers just getting their place to line up. We're going to go to a short commercial break. Come back with more live action right after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Okay, there is the sights and sounds of the Caparica Surf Fest 2025, a massive event down here on the southern shores of Lisbon. All the fans coming down from Lisbon and surrounding areas to get involved in what is the penultimate day of events. There's people on stilts, you can see, unless they're just very tall. There's loads of our sponsors. We've been so blessed to have the support of the local tourist board, the Almeida Tourist Board. There's a big turn from Maria, she can't make it. Estrella Galicia, again, getting right behind this event, keeping all the spectators and fans well oiled. And Maria Salgado's mum looking on pretty nervously. She knows her daughter now needs a 6.5, so I think that last wave we saw that one big turn from Aliciaga, got herself a 5.83. So now Maria Salgado needing a 6.5. As we see this,
yeah, this would have been the score.
That would have been a 6.5 for sure.
Beautiful turn, beautiful wave too. Like, you know, a pocket of glassy.
She didn't hold back either, did she? She went for it.
No, not at all. She doesn't actually, like, she's super, you know, fierce competitor as well. Been really facing up to the older girls in the nationals, and I think next year she'll be, you know, kind of exploding also in the European field.
Yeah, she's a real talent and still really, really young, so loads of improvement in her surfing. But yeah, you can tell just by that turn how much style and how much potential she's got. She didn't ride out of it, but it was still a really impressive manoeuvre. And now it's 6 on the clock. She needs a 6.5. Looks like Leiciaga going to go down there and start putting on a bit of a pressure of herself. But, you know, she's young as well, but has a little bit more experience. As we see her going down to join her opponent down on the beach. Easter Friday here. And the crowds are massive. It's on Millennium, of course. Have been long time supporters of surfing in Portugal at all the events. And they've got a great stand down there. Actually, it's real worth checking out. I've been down there hanging out. Got all sorts of cool stuff to look at, little competitions. You can win some cool beanies and key rings and all sorts of stuff. So if you're down the beach, go say hi to the Millennium guys. They're super friendly and super fun down there in the sponsors village. And of course, Watt Hotels that we've been staying at. We've been lucky enough to hang out there. It's super cool. They've been backing our sport as well, putting up all the workers and also providing a lot of the people come down here, the fans staying there at the hostel. So they're super cool. So yeah, they were one big dream team down here at the moment. The sun's out, there's waves, and we're in the quarterfinals of the women's. But we need a bit of action here, Zay Ferreira. It's just been a little bit quiet. We need some spark, I think.
Yeah, we need those 700 waves we had the first day, so we can, you know, really have that rhythm. But truth is, there's been some rhythm in this heat. Each one of these surfers had 5 waves, but you know, Jan-Martin knows it, and I think the coaches really brief surfers. It's women on women or man on man, and you know, you have to be patient, you have to be wise. So it's not the same thing as 4 surfers in the water, you know. 2 surfers go through, and usually the scores are smaller, you know. If you actually look at it statistically, I would say that in this phase, most surfers that lose have 2-digit score. At the last heat that happened, at least. So yeah, the stakes are higher, it's harder, but here is where you really get experience, you know, because this yeah, from quarterfinals, woman on woman or man on man onwards, it's when it really counts.
Yeah, it's tough, and Maria just can't find a little corner at the moment. I'm going to have a little heat recap and see where we got this stage. Currently, Sarah with a 10.5, heat total, Maria with a 7.2. So Maria Salgado chasing that 6.5, but just finding it hard. We'll see how we got here. She's had a few opportunities. You can see this recap, but it's Leiciaga who's just been a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, Maria here started really well, putting herself out there. Beautiful, you know, little jump there. But Leiciaga just, you know, bigger surfer as well, so a bit more expression in her turns, a bit more power. Also, obviously, a bit more experience as well. That always helps. And this was her best one, so 5.83. You know, just the one turn. This is what's been, you know, the judges actually been looking for. But Maria, you know, don't count her out. She needs a 6.5. She does not have priority, but she can definitely do it.
Yeah, she just needs to find a corner. Well, she needs to, get under the clutches of her opponent first and then just find a wave with a corner. She got the wave before. That had the potential for the score. It was a big, meaty section. She went for it and just fell. So she can do the same thing again without the fall. She'll be right in the mix, but she's starting to run out of time. And, yeah, I think this is where priority starts to come into play. Yeah, we were complaining there was too many waves ridden, weren't we?
Yeah.
We're never happy,
There's
are we?
always complaining.
Never happy.
You know?
And there's not enough waves ridden. I got to say, I prefer the 4-person heats. I reckon they're way more exciting. I think all surfing should be 4-person heats. In the CT, the overlapping thing's way better.
Yeah, the overlapping, I like it, especially in pipe and stuff.
Just anywhere, it just works. I think you got more waves getting ridden. That's still fair.
As an ex-pro surfer, like you want to have, you know, space and time to perform, especially when you like. Imagine you're traveling for 30 hours, you know, 2,500 plane tickets, and then you have like 25 minutes with 3 more guys out or girls out. So, you know, it gets to a point where like, give us time, give us space. We want to perform. And
that's the name of the game, mate. It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
But that was Kelly Slater's format, wasn't it? That's the best thing he's ever done in surfing, Kelly.
For sure. Better than his 11 world titles, actually.
He's pretty useless at everything else, but he did come up with a good format.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
And the surf pool. Like I guess he was one of the main, you know, innovators there as well, as much as, for instance, Josema and the wave garden system, and it's big innovations going on in surfing.
Okay, so she has escaped. So Maria, one big turn here, waits for it, clicks it off the top and drives out. I don't know if it's a 6.5 though. It was well surfed. This wasn't a chunky section. On the positive side, she's kind of managed to get away from Sarah and find a bit of space, find a bit of real estate. But Zay, is it enough?
Yeah, well, a bit sticky there. Nice turn though, like to start with. Beautiful bottom turn. I think she just got the rail and wasn't really able to take that board as much as she wanted out of the actual wave. So I think she'll definitely improve her situation, but not enough to put her in first place. And with 40 seconds to go, that makes her life like very hard.
Yeah, she's in all sorts of bother now. Time is running out for the young Portuguese surfer. Had a good heat. Had a good event. Just hasn't been able to put any sort of serious scoreboard pressure in this one. And 25 seconds on the clock. She's got to get out and get a wave. That's going to be pretty difficult, you'd imagine. And it looks like Lisiaga is going to get some good, another great result here into the semis. That'll do her confidence really good. And, of course, they're coming up, at least Barton and Janina Zeitler in the next heat. So, really good, nice contrast of styles. There goes the hooter, and you can see the smile on Sarah's face. She surfed that well. Never really looked in trouble, to be honest. And she is through, the French surfer. So, well done to her. Maria Salgado, well, she was going to come back for the qualifying series for next year in 2025. And I reckon she's going to be a real contender once she starts get some more experience and some more, improvements in her surfing. So we'll see her shortly. Right now, though, as those surfers come in, we'll get a chance to speak to Sarah with Claudia Pinto. We're going to take a short commercial break, hear from our wonderful sponsors and partners, and come back with the final quarterfinal of the Caparica Surf Fest 2025 after this.
sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to Caparica Surf Fest. We are live, Heat 4 of the quarterfinals. And right now in the water, Alice Barton and Janina Zettler. So great heat on our ends. Janina, one of the standouts of this event so far, posting some excellent numbers, and Alice Barton, super quick off the top, really consistent, part of that GB program, and looks like they're doing a good job. She's in the comp, and what a great heat. And while we wait for the first few waves to be ridden, we're going to go for a quick interview with the last heat.
Another winner making it to the finals day tomorrow. How do you feel?
I'm super happy coming here. I know it was a tough heat with Maria. She's a little ripper, but I'm happy to get away with it. It was tough conditions, but it was nice.
We're battling up to the last minute for a position in the semis tomorrow. What was the strategy?
It was to like score the first good waves, and then 5 minutes left. I had the prio, so she couldn't catch a wave. I had to kind of block her so she couldn't surf. But it's tough to make a decision as if is the wave is good enough for her to do the score? Is it not? So you have to trust the instinct, and I let her go, and it wasn't enough. So I'm kind of happy.
Congrats! Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Epi, Sara Lisiaga there. Nice heat, and a tough one against Maria Salgado. Really close battle. Maria Salgado has been surfing really well this event so far. And this is Janina now, trying to identify some potential in that wave, and she was not able. But yeah, 483 for Alice Barton for the first one. 2 quick snaps, and that's a score. 483, not a huge number, but a good start for her. As we see, she's from Swansea. And yeah, as we see the replay.
Yeah, Elise has been super crisp and on point, especially in her decision-making process in competition. Obviously, as we've referred this time and time again, being coached by Luke Dillon ahead of the English coach. And, the results are right here, because it's really not just about surfing when you arrive at these phases. It's making one good decision after the other against, known, experienced surfers that can perform, and you have to do that in different conditions. Every day is a new challenge, so a lot goes down in competition, and when you start breaking it down to the detail, there's so many little things in relation to each other, and that can influence your performance. It's not that easy to keep it simple,
Yes, indeed, and looks like the waves are a bit harder now. Tide is super high, and it's hard to find the ones that have a bit of a juice, as we see there. Coach of Janina pointing towards the left side of the beach, as we see a really good VIP tent there. Looked like we had a bit of good vibes going around, which is great. It's always good to see the beach packed, everyone having fun around the event, and that's why we are in this part of the world right now. And we have a bit of a paddle here. Janine decides not to go, but Alice decides to sit way further to the left side of our screens, and now Janina.
Yeah, Janina, I think she still has the best score of the contest so far, or at least one of the best scores. Obviously, coming from the Netherlands or representing the Netherlands, but training in a lot of other places, as you know, the Netherlands is not known for its great waves. It's known for a lot of things, though, a lot of great things, and they do have great waves from time to time, but it's not as consistent.
But Janine is Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch, I mean.
Yeah.
But I think the same rule applies, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but thank you for the correction.
You know, she surfs really well. You know those waves?
The river surfing.
You know those waves that stand still?
I think she's river surfing champion.
Yeah, but you know the other one that is like a blue one? That is on a river?
The flow rider.
She rips on those things.
She does.
Yeah, she does like 360s, and she surfs that really well. So, but yeah, it looks hard to surf on that thing. That's for sure.
Yeah, and if you
have
fall,
you tried?
Never.
It might be fun to go with friends, actually.
Yeah.
To see all your friends fall on awkward positions.
Should be a cool one.
And yeah.
But actually, in Portugal, we don't have a flow rider. We don't have a wave pool. It's taking a while. But you've tried wave pools before, haven't you?
Yeah, I tried back then with Saka, a project we were trying to make it happen. And but yeah, it's hard. You need a lot of stuff to go your way to make it happen, but I feel like it's coming. Supposedly, there's one opening up in 2026 in Ovic, and yeah, the news is out there, so everyone is talking about it.
Yep.
And yeah, I wish we can have one. I'm sure I would go there for sure a couple of times.
Yeah, for sure, we'd love to try it.
Yeah, it would be so nice to have like an air section to have fun for 1 hour, just like karting, you know. Like
yeah.
When you go karting, it's so fun. I actually went a couple of days ago with my kid, and it's so fun to kart.
Super fun to
It's
kart.
so fun, yeah. You actually don't think about it too much, but when you do it, it's like, oh my god, this is actually super fun. I want to drive. I want to drive another half an hour.
Yeah.
I ended
and
up
it's super tiring too.
It is your back. Like I had a lot of back pain. Yeah.
Arms, yeah.
I had a lot of back pain on the next day, but yeah, I went for 15 minutes, and then he was like, "Oh, I want a little bit more," and I'm like, "Me too." I'm even more young than him, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it another 15 minutes." So we went for half an hour, karting, and then on the next day we went for more 15 minutes in the space of 2 days. But yeah, it's just that fun. It's really good. And this is Janina on a backhand snap and a good jump under that wave.
Yeah,
But,
she's really good in putting her board in difficult situations. You know, didn't have a lot of time for that turn and still did it. She's torching her arms, then nice jump there, trying to, you know, could there was some similarities there with Yolanda Hopkins' jump, but Yolanda's jump, it's just too iconic.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think Janina needs a bit of a wave with a bit more push, so she can
an open face,
up,
right?
yeah, a bit more. But conditions look really fun.
Yeah.
Look at that left.
It looks glassy from here.
Yeah.
I think like another angle you could see it's not as glassy
as
but
it looks.
But it's still like the texture is super nice and just typical Costa da Caparica, like fun, you know.
Ripples on the inside.
Yeah. Bit flat. And yep, we just got the confirmation Teresa Bonvalot will not be qualifying for the Challengers next year. We were discussing about that possibility, and that, you know, that that just confirms our suspicions. Because this is a 1,000 points for the girls, and she had 1,100 points distance from Annette, which is sitting in 4th place. So, yeah.
But she's the number 1 alternate, right?
Yep, that's right.
So if someone does not go from, I don't know how that works actually.
I would say it's like if someone from Europe doesn't go.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that at all. It's
I think
just
it is like that. Yeah.
Intuitively. Like
Your
if someone,
yeah.
if like an Australian fails, why would a European go in? Right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We need to double check that,
we
that
do.
information based on
maybe a wild card.
What happened on previous years. But yeah, it might be like that. And 13 minutes to go, and this heat has been really slow there.
That's right.
But we see a lot of waves coming, though.
It reminds me a lot of like Israel and spots like that where you have like a lot of wind waves. It's because the swell, look at this. It's not as good. And nice turn for Janina. She likes it. Some fin release there.
Yeah, that turn was really good from Janina, as we see the beautiful drone shot. Wow.
Ooh, a lot of projection.
That was nice. Look at that. Bam!
Wow. That's definitely the best wave of this heat. And I love how she torches her upper body to point the board and looking where she wants to go. And there was it was like a re-entry and with a bit of fin release, even with a bit of an air release, right?
She had everything in one maneuver, so
even a bit of floater.
A 4-point ride.
Oh,
so we just saw from a different angle.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's.
Sometimes the angle does that.
Yeah, the angle changes everything. That's the angle.
As we have 11 minutes to go, and I just thought that turn alone was the best turn we saw all heat, but we wait for more.
We do. It's definitely an invitation to do better. As we have Luke Dillon here, Alice Barton's coach. And Alice was having a look at that wave there. You can definitely see from this angle that there's some texture. And Alice Barton now, this wave looks beautiful. Nice first turn. She has to land this, which she does. And that is a beautiful wave. Beautiful second turn.
Yeah, that second turn was massive. Was the best turn of the heat, that's for sure. And she had the combination, so I like the wrap, quick wrap. She cut it short, and then the pow.
A lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water. A lot of water. So, yeah, this is going to be a good score.
Definitely.
How do you think
do you think the angle is going to
surprise us? No, I don't think so on this one.
Yeah,
783.
Yep, that's a 783 in any angle. Yeah, beautiful transition between that first turn to the second one. That there was no rail out of the place. She didn't catch the rail. She generated speed weighted. And didn't really pump between turns, which is lovely and what you want to do. And Janina here just kind of, losing her patience, maybe. She hasn't really found great waves. As soon as she does, I'm sure we're going to see something special. But, we are going for a break, as you already know, and we'll come right back after this.
sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone, set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
We're back for the last 7 minutes of the day. After that, we're going to do a little recap of the day in the post-show. But for now, this is still on and still alive and kicking. 7 minutes is a long time for a day like today. So Janina has had 7 waves so far. She's still looking. She's not quitting. That's not like her. And yeah, 7.83 for that last one of Alice Barton.
Great score with 6 minutes to go. Janina has a lot of work to do. She needs an 8.66 right now. We've seen her do 9s, but conditions were a bit different than now. So we need to think about what she needs to do right now to take that lead. But Alice Barton, I tell you what, super consistent, super fast, and she has improved a lot from last year to this year, that's for sure. And Team GB, they're doing a good job with all their athletes. And yeah, we've seen some Italians, Great Britain, everyone is reaping, right? Morocco as well, Israelis, a lot of them.
Italians.
Yeah.
A lot of different nationalities coming
Yeah.
up. You could feel that throughout the years, but I think this year is just, you can just feel there, you know, in regarding to some more traditional surfing countries, they're overrunning, at least in terms of quantity. Then quality, you know, then might take a bit more time, but you know, when you have so many contenders, that's just a representation of what's going on in those countries. And
Big snaps off the top. This was the first wave. And then, yep, Alice Barton. This was Janina here. I thought, wow, Janina is coming back. This turn was big. I thought the score was going to be a bit higher, but it was a 4. But then, I tell you what, Alice Barton with a combo here. And that combo and that last turn was vicious. So 7.83 there for Alice Barton. Great job, and an amazing wave there by Alice. And yep, she's in the lead with 3 minutes to go. And in second, Janina needing 8.66. So she's a bit behind there.
yes, she is. 3 minutes to go. That's, you know, that's going to be hard. You see Alice sticking to Janina, not giving her an inch. You know, it's pretty standard technique, putting some pressure on your opponent in the last instances of each heat if you're winning. And if your opponent is needing an 8.66, Alice has priority too. You know, if there was more time on the clock, you'd say that Janina was going for, you know, bettering her 2 waves instead of just relying everything on that 1 wave, because she should need to, you know, do one of the best scores of the event, an 8.66, which she showed us she can do. Actually, you know, going by the history of this contest. If there's someone that can do it, she can do it. But yeah, probabilities and stuff and conditions are yeah, hard for that too, I guess.
Yes, indeed they are. And with 2 minutes to go, we have Alice Barton in the lead. Looks like a safe lead for now. We know Janina can post some big numbers. She had a 9 not long time ago, so it's just a question of when it's pressure time to apply that pressure and just risk it. But yeah, 8.66. It's a hard number to get, and looks like they got caught inside on this one, which is weird because waves aren't huge, so maybe sitting a bit too much on the inside. But yeah, Ali's there trying to go after Janina. She has first priority, but she has been caught by this surprisingly bigger set. And yeah, Alice Barton though, 1 minute to go. Looks like she's gonna win this one, and she's gonna go through, and she's gonna join Sara Lesiaga on that second semi of the ladies. That will happen tomorrow. So this is the last heat of the day, last 50 seconds of competition today. It was a long day of competition. We saw a lot of amazing surfing, and Alice Barton finishing it up the day with probably a win. Janina here trying to save herself from losing, but she sold one wave to Alice, and Alice, wow, amazing turn there by Alice Barton. Super crisp off the top, as we see the crew there supporting her and clapping that last one. And yep, I think that's all she wrote with 10 seconds. Alice Barton, she's in the semis there.
Definitely. So we have the two semi-finals done. 2 Portuguese in the first one, and then we will have Sara Lesiaga and Alice Barton in the second one. Obviously, super happy contendant, like support crew there too. She deserves it. Surfed really well. Has been surfing well throughout all the event. Smart decisions, smart surfing, and great to see a great British surfer on that round. As we move on to the post show, which we'll have right away. We will be having, we'll go through what happened today, which was great surfing again, once again. And yeah, let's check it out together after this.
Na vida, há sempre algo que nos inspira. O milénio está sempre presente, ao seu lado, na conquista de novos desafios. Juntos, partilhamos a paixão pelo futuro. Milénio, aqui consigo.
It's good to try, even when something seems to make little sense. Put your weight on it. Make an impact in this world. Call everyone. set ambitious goals, and ask yourself, do you want to change surfing? Dare to test. Ride the future.
Welcome back to the Costa Caparica Surf Fest 2025 post-show. We are getting it down to the nitty-gritty. We are up to the penultimate day. We have decided 4 of the women's semi-finalists and 8 of the quarterfinalists. We are motoring through to the final day tomorrow. My name is Ben Mundy. I'm joined by Chico Alves and Zay Ferreira. It's been a short day, but an intense one, Chico. How have you found it?
Yeah, it has been good. Conditions have been great for the forecast we had. Conditions were good.
Conditions were good. We got waves, we got wind, we got swell, we got a lot of waves. Zay Ferreira, what about you, mate? How would you sum up your afternoon in 3 words for me, please?
Yeah, well, that was intense, good, and quick afternoon. We've had 8 heats, but great surfing. You know, these guys and girls keep on delivering, even though, you know, swell wasn't amazing, but we have some great scores and great action.
Yeah, great action. And one of those surfers, Elise Barton, she is down on the beach with Claudio Pinto.
That's right, Alice Barton, making it up to the semifinals tomorrow. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm really happy. The conditions were super fun. I had a stormy surf this morning. Just me and my dad were here, actually. It was quite quiet. Felt like home. So, yeah, I'm really pleased to win that and have all my crew on the beach, everyone supporting, all the boys from home. So, yeah, I'm super stoked.
Looking forward for tomorrow. Excited?
Yeah, really excited. Into finals day. And, yeah, I'm really stoked. Happy to surf again.
And it's a wrap for today. Back to the post-show. Stay tuned for tomorrow.
Thanks, Claudio. Thanks, Lisa. There's a very stoked Alice Barton. So she should be. She's on the cusp of what could be one of the biggest wins of her career. So, I mean, the sights, the sounds, the smells, it's all happening here in Caparica. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go through 2 heats, 2 of the highlights of the day. The first one with Jorgen Kuzene, his heat, the current ratings leader. And I'll tell you what, he did not disappoint. This man has been on fire all week, Chico.
Yeah, he has been on fire, and it's just the way he manufactures a score. Anytime he stands up, he just throws buckets of water, throws fins around, and it's super simple for him. The recipe is there. And unfortunately, Keone losing on this heat and losing the chance as well of winning the European title. So it was a great matchup, and Jorgen, with turns like this, he made it look easy.
Yeah, that's just his 4th time he's won the European Qualifying Series trophy. So one of the greats of European surfing. Diego Domin is a massive. Well, no, sorry, that was Ido, the Israeli surfer, and he's on the beach. He says, "Thank you very much." He's got the trophy. There he is. 4th time for that man to be holding that prestigious trophy. But we went straight on to the women's, the quarterfinal seat number 2. A real good matchup here. Zay Ferreira. We had Teresa Bonfo, the local hope. She was on fire, wasn't she, in the early part?
Definitely. Actually, like, she pretty much killed this heat in the first 5 minutes, as her coach told her to do. So great student there. And
but then Tanya Vanderhuls, she came back with this, one of the best turns of the day. Boom! Huge fin release. That was an 8.27, and that got her right back in the game. But Teresa Bonfo, she just closed it out, and she's into the semi-finals. She's won here before. No doubt she wants to win here again. So it's been a remarkable sort of day of waves, and we've got one more day to come. Tomorrow after, well, let's find out when the call is. But tomorrow we're going to have a champion Chico, and I'm going to put you on the spot now. Who's going to win the men's and the women's? Who's your picks?
I don't know. I have no idea, but
you don't know.
No, I don't know.
You're paid to be an expert opinion, but I'm going to need an answer from you, please.
I think they're all great, and the level is so high that it's really hard to tell.
Right, that's not an answer from me. Zay, who's going to win? Who's your picks for tomorrow?
I actually have to go with Chico, Ben. But
Right,
I'll ask you. I'll ask you.
No, you don't get to ask me.
Let us know, Ben. Let us know your opinion, Ben.
We'll find out tomorrow because at 10 o'clock, there's a call for 10 o'clock for a possible 10:30 start. So we will find out tomorrow. There's no need for opinion. We will find out. An amazing day at the Caparica Surf Fest coming tomorrow. Please log on. We appreciate all your fans, all your support. There's massive crowds down on the beach. Please come and log online. Till tomorrow, we'll say bye for now and thanks for your time.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.